when last we left, the party had just undergone a rather strenuous fight in which you faced off against Vyas and some of his aides or people that were or followers. You faced off against a couple of oracles, a fanatic, the assassin from earlier, and against Vyas himself. After a hard-fought fight with some lucky rolls and some lucky incidents, you managed to come out on top, having slain all of the followers, and with a final choice by Azoth, elected to knock Vyas unconscious. And as you did so, believing he was going to be left for dead, he said, "Phaenax will have his destiny." The events that led us up to this were a bit of a chase sequence before fighting a rather large skeleton that made Fluffy look not so big after the previous events. So now we finally catch up to the party having knocked out Vyas. I think that's exactly where we left it. So what would you guys like to do?
Sleep.
If I'm correct, I was heading into the room with the rest of those 4 bodies. I think someone was following me as well. I can't remember who.
Oh, you're going to check, yeah. I don't think I was.
No, neither.
I want to go with it. If no one else is, I'm gonna go with it.
Yep. No worries.
I'm just gonna stay with Vyas for now. Just
Vyas is on the ground.
Wait, I think Matt, your mic isn't working.
That doesn't help, does it? Are we taking Vyas to the room where we kept the horses, just to get out of Fluffy's way?
Out of Fluffy's way.
Yeah, the 3-headed dog on the other side of the door, we still haven't dealt with.
Oh, that Fluffy.
That
yes.
Fluffy.
Yeah, that Fluffy. Sorry,
what we assume is a 3-headed dog.
Scary Fluffy.
Yeah, I think right before we wrapped, Azoth wanted to drag Vyas into that room to maybe do like a little impromptu interrogation.
Hi, Emma.
He is out of it. Absolutely out of it.
Elaeda, grab an arm. Just drag him to the horse room.
Sure.
It is now known as the horse room.
How does one drag a ghost? Fluffy's going to go into the horse room.
More tangible when he got.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Fluffy's going to go into the horse room and say to the boy, "Look, guys, I'm wasted and I'm out, and I just fall asleep, sprawled out on the ground, asleep.
Sleep again.
Fluffy just passes out on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like late at this point. Like it's the morning. Like it's
They came at was it midnight that we expected?
It was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
It was like probably 1 or 2 in the morning, like or around midnight that they arrived.
What? Yeah, we wouldn't know what time it is now.
No.
All right, I'm gonna start checking some of these bodies, but as I walk into the other room, am I hearing anything from the door?
Roll me a perception check.
Perception.
I'll help him with that as well.
Yeah, both listening.
Yeah.
18.
You can kind of hear this almost like low growl, but like there's no like banging or anything. It's like just this.
No obvious attempts at the door.
No obvious attempts at the door. It's not like there's no pounding on the door anymore. It's just like this rumble, like this. Occasionally, you just hear this kind of rumbling growl,
like a snore, more like a.
Lyndall,
not sure.
Seeing as he didn't break through, I think, and I can't hear any major attempts at breaking the door. I think we might be okay to have a look through some of these bodies. But I suggest we do so stealthily.
Agreed. As
So I'm gonna
quiet and as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna leave Kahir for Lindell to check, and I'm gonna go to the assassin to check his body.
No
Do
worries.
you want me to
I'll roll to check at the
Yeah,
same time.
please.
Check into Kahir's.
Roll me two things. Roll me a stealth check because you guys are trying to do this quietly, and roll me a investigation check for looking over the body.
Yep. So I rolled a 12 for stealth.
That was with advantage.
Oh, was it?
You have advantage. on stealth
yeah,
checks 'cause
okay.
you-
And then the other one was way better, 17.
Cool.
So I rolled a 15 on stealth and a 14 on investigation.
Okay.
And
It's been longer than a week since we've played. I don't know.
22. I rolled 22 on investigation.
Okay.
Long week.
So we'll start with you, Amos. You find 2 vials of poison, the same poison that was on the last assassin. A coin pouch that has about 50 gold in it. You find various a pouch full of spell components, as well as a spell book that is there as well.
Oh. Is there a dagger?
There is a dagger on his hip, and he has a short sword, and there is a regular crossbow, a light crossbow on his back.
Okay. Cool.
If you want to grab all that, you can.
I will take everything except the crossbow. Actually, I'm going to investigate the dagger. Does the dagger look ornate in any way, or is it just your standard steel iron dagger?
It looks like a standard dagger. As you look at it with the investigation check that you've rolled, you notice that the blade seems to be coated in a poison.
Okay, gotcha. So I will be careful of that, not to nick myself in any way. But otherwise, I'll grab everything else and add it to my inventory.
No worries. Lyndall, what did you roll for your investigation? You were
14.
You were 14. So you find she's got a coin pouch that has only 8 silver in it. You find that she has is wearing an amulet that has the symbol of Phaenax, and is also in her hands as she's lying there. Is a larger symbol of Phaenax as well. So like essentially a golden mask that is probably about yay big. That she was holding in her hand.
Quick question: when I locked the door with the amulet of Erebos off the Guardian, did that stick into the wall, or was it removable when I locked it?
It's like it would be a key. So you put it on, you basically turn it, it locks and then you still have it with you.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool.
No notes or anything like ledgers or anything to read or anything like that on her body.
There is she has a small book on her hip.
Okay. I'll grab everything, and then when we move to the next bodies, I'll just kind of follow your lead, Amos, with that.
Yeah. So after I finish with after I finish with the assassin, I'll go over to the cult fanatic and check his body as well.
Roll me an investigation check there for the cult.
Yep.
And then
burnt. Oracle 2 is the leftover one.
Okay, so I'll do that. Stealth again, as well.
No, we'll keep the same stealth roll. That's fine.
Ooh, natural 20 on mine. For mine.
Mine was only a 12.
You find a charred husk of a being.
Yeah.
He did.
What did you roll? You rolled a 12. It's hard to discern what's what. It's like
that makes sense.
Like there's the body, and it's just burnt. You're like, maybe there was some clothes under that.
Yeah.
You kind of find that the coin pouch, which is mostly like burnt and like, but you kind of see some of the coins poking through.
Mhm.
And he's got about 2 gold on him. As well as his weapons, which I believe was just a dagger.
Yeah.
Then there is he also had a small amulet in his hands, a small symbol of Phaenax.
Cool. So I'll just grab the 2 gold and the amulet. Won't bother with the dagger.
Nat 20 from
Mhm.
from you.
Put you
Yep.
on that, yep.
I can't remember how Oracle 2 died.
22.
So
Alright.
again, very similar kind of setup to Kahir, in the sense that there was the wearing an amulet and holding a symbol of Phaenax as well. The other thing of note is that there seems to be some form of kind of golden tattoo on her right arm. That seems to be like a constellation of stars. And yeah, coin pouch with 8 gold and 2 silver. No books or notes that you can see.
Can I look closer at her tattoo?
Sure.
Investigate that specifically.
Yeah, sure. Roll me another roll me a history check.
Okay. 12.
12. It looks like a really, really nice tattoo. It's not something you've really seen before, like it, like this style. This almost looks like it's like a metallic gold look to it, but it is a tattoo. Like, it's not a brand or like a marking. It is like a tattoo. It's just golden.
It's a constellation that I would recognize, though.
As a star constellation, no.
Okay. Can I take out my my writing instrumentation and kind of copy it down?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Roll me a
performance
check.
Mm-hmm.
But that feels wrong because that's like charisma.
Intelligence, maybe something to do with intelligence.
Just an intelligence modifier roll.
Just a general, maybe a
general
intelligence.
We'll call it an artistic roll.
Which one do you want?
That's a good question.
Probably another history, isn't it? Oh no, I don't know.
It's more of a sleight of hand thing to be able to like copy something well.
Yeah.
It's artistic as well, so I mean, I don't know. Like, performance kind of makes sense to me too, but it's whatever you say.
True.
Isn't an art? Yeah, I did say so.
But I don't know if copying something directly is necessarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Charismatic art.
There should be something on here that is like creativity and artistic.
Creativity is probably a good skill.
But I think the closest you get is like, if it was like acrobatics is like that kind of performing, I would say.
So I rolled a 15. It would just be what you give me for the plus, if there.
Yeah, I think I think with Lindor's natural ability to like in his artistry, even though he's a musician, you are adept at creativity and arts and being able to copy that down. I think you make what is quite a good copy of the constellation. You think it captures the where the stars are positioned in retrospect over the arm, as well as you also managed to capture some of the beauty of the actual artistry that the tattooist did.
I thought you were gonna say beauty of the oracle, the Deadpool.
Nah, that ain't.
Deadless eyes, perfectly.
She's still warm.
I'm pretty sure Amos shot a bolt through her face.
I think,
yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah,
pretty sure she's got
an arrow straight through the eye or some shit.
Yeah.
Just put some hair over it. You'll never know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be relevant to anything that we might need later, but I wanted to take it down. So,
No.
Yeah, I think we're done. Amos, you think we can go back to the others? Unless you want something that you need to check anything else.
Nope, I'm done here. I'm happy to move back to the others.
Okay.
A lot of what I'm reading, Dale, would be a dex check.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of
that
thinking.
makes
It'd be
sense
like
too.
a
A straight dex check.
Dexterity in your fingers, I guess.
Yeah, which is
that's kind of what I was thinking.
performance. Isn't that performance? Oh no, performance,
performance
is
is
charisma.
charisma.
Yeah,
Charisma.
no, you're right, yeah.
So
It's more of like a sleight of hand almost.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because that's Dex. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It seems more forgery than
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgery. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Cool.
That makes sense. Cool.
So
We're heading back to the horse room.
Elaeda, before
Yes.
Elaeda, before I walk over and take Fluffy's tail and shove it in his mouth. No, I pinch his nose where it goes. Fuck's sake.
Yes.
Before we wake up Vyas, I considering what he's just said and what he's the information that he has, clearly we don't want Phaenax to get all this information. We don't know what he's relayed so far. I don't know, would you think it appropriate to try to kind of interrogate him, and I assume you'd like to do a proper, even though he has been quite a prick, you'd still like to initiate some proper burial, send off, transition, as it were. What's your take on this situation?
Respectfully, yes, I do have my duty to uphold as a follower of Athreos. I need to follow through with the proper burial rites, but as an individual, I really just want to do away with this scum. That being said, though, can later looking back, was there any time that sort of stood out where Vyas was communicating with Phaenax, or was it sort of something happening in the background? Or I just want to understand is if him being conscious is a detriment, or is it worth just killing him on the spot, or if I have the opportunity to.
When you scryed on Vyas,
Yeah.
Or when someone scryed on Vyas for you, he described what he was doing as casting a spell.
Okay, right. So there's no.
It was a very obvious kind of form. Whether or not someone is watching you and gaining that information, who knows? But for Vyas communicating and how that clerics often have to communicate, it often is a very deliberate thing for the clerics or the oracles to speak to the gods.
Yeah.
Directly.
Okay.
We should definitely tie his hands up. Just to stop any
I'll
hocus pocus malarkey if he.
I'm happy just to hold a sword to his throat until we're done with him.
That works too.
If he tries anything, just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up to you. Can we bind his physical and we can tie him up?
While he's at the moment he's physical.
Okay.
Seems more physical currently.
Yeah.
It seems when all said and done, bye Vyas. But if we try to get at least a little bit of information first, even if he says nothing, then he's gone anyway.
Yes, I agree.
We could at least try.
All right. Do you want to wait for the others, or should we just make a start?
Well, I think because we dragged him to the room and they were checking, and checking might have taken a little while.
Yeah,
Been
like another 10 minutes.
And we've just been in a couple of situations where we've stood around and pissed around and gotten very abused for it. So no one's looking to piss fight around here. So I'm going to wake him if you want to ready your weapon, and
Yep.
and we'll see what happens. Here we go. So I'm gonna just cast Healing Hands on him. 'Cause it's like the only thing I have. Probably.
Nothing happens.
Oh. Okay, I won't roll for it.
You can roll me an Arcana check or a History check, either one.
Can I assist on that?
Yep.
Arcana or History?
Yep.
History. Okay.
And assist or roll separately.
I'll roll separate.
Lord.
21.
Okay, 13 for me.
I guess it makes sense. Elaeda, you kind of like mentally think about like what it looks like Azoth has just tried to do, and how sometimes you can't heal the undead. There's like healing magic just doesn't work on them like it works on a normal person. So yeah, you're not overly surprised that the healing didn't take root in the character in Vyas.
Is there any way to sort of shake him awake or try help him regain consciousness?
You can certainly try.
I
just shake him.
I do have a standard potion of healing, but I seem
I
a
don't
waste.
think that'll do it. Is there any way that she knows how to? I mean, can I roll for an Arcana check to see if there's any way to
I
revitalize him
think
slightly?
with your Arcana check, I think undead creatures are a bit different to like a normal being in that typically they don't need to sleep or anything like that because they are undead. So when they're knocked unconscious, they're like you need to wait for them to rise. There isn't usually ways to rise them early, unless you're just like shaking them awake. But if their body isn't ready for them to rise, they won't rise because they don't heal like a regular being.
Yep.
And some of them don't heal at all.
Wasted my healing hands for nothing.
I'll make an attempt just to call out to him and just touch his form, just to see if he is responsive in any way. If I can at least get something out of him.
Roll me a d20.
3.
Nothing happens.
I guess we could just wait for him to recover health. If he does, then that helps. If not, then I don't know what else we can do besides taking him to. Ooh, God knows where. I know how to get rid of him. I don't know how to bring him back. Sort of goes against what I do.
He's he's not breathing, but you get the sense that he's not dead. Like there is still a life about the creature.
Have I walked back into the
there is a
room yet?
light. I think around this time you're probably coming back in here.
Oh, are we slapping him? Are we getting him to wake up? Are we attempting to make him wake up?
I attempted to heal him with some kind of magic, and it didn't seem to work. Elaeda and I, just thought we could get some information from him, but yes.
As Azoth says that, I'm gonna pull out a flask with the pools of lith in it, and just kind of look at it, and then look at Lindo, and look back. Do you know what this is?
Do it. Lindo says from the back of the room, do it.
Do it.
Real quick, can I see his form is physical now, right?
More physical, yeah.
Can I investigate his body or his physical self to see if I can find anything tangible? Just to see if there's anything on his person that sort of gives him away or might have any other evidence against him.
Sure. Roll me a investigation check.
While he's doing that, I want to get my
13?
cloak back. I want to go over there with him and yoink my cloak off of his body. because I gave it to him a long time ago.
Oh, true. Yeah, he's been wearing your cloak for a long time.
Yep,
So
yeah,
it's
okay, sure. You
true.
can grab your cloak back. I completely forgot.
Yeah, it's just 13 on investigation.
Doesn't really have any personal effects or anything.
Yeah.
And what kind of looks like clothing seems to be more like part of him or part of like his being. It's kind of almost strange, like when he was wielding his dagger. The dagger just kind of, it looked real at the time, but it's not there anymore, and there's no
Yeah.
sign of it.
Cool. Sorry.
So,
Lift away.
Fellas, I have the pools of Lith. Now, Lyndall, you're going to need to remind me, what sort of effect did this have on you?
It made me mad. Like, I was crazy. I was having visions of things
Started
that happened in
tripping
the
Major
past,
Ballsack.
and things that may not have happened that I thought happened, and things that would happen that may happen, and all kinds of crazy stuff. Visions of the future. I was hearing voices. I was extremely tired. Like, could hardly carry myself. I was tripping balls. So if we give this to him, it may be a good time, but anything he tells us while under these effects, we would have to take with a grain of salt, because it
Right,
could be
okay.
anything, right?
That's what I wasn't sure about. So, in that case, probably not the best time to use this. I was thinking, because I was trying to remember back to when we fought those halfies and how it affected you, and I couldn't remember if it made you lucid, as you said, or if it was actually something that could benefit us in a way. So I'll leave that then for now.
I
We
suppose.
could try. We don't know if it still has its power since it's left.
This is
the
very
actual
true.
pool,
This is very true.
But
Well, I suppose giving the current situation gestures to Fluffy, we're not going anywhere right now. Maybe we should just sit tight. Everyone looks a little busted up. You know, I don't think it's a good idea to progress right now. We have Vyas. We can take watch. He's in a bad way. I think as long as one or two people are watching him at a time, I think that's okay. And maybe try to get some rest before we progress. You know, he was the biggest threat, and he's here now. So we're not, I suppose, in that much of a rush at the moment. Maybe we should try to recuperate a little bit.
I'm folding up my my cloak while he's telling us this, and I'm gonna put that in my bag. I don't want to wear it since it's been on him.
Needs to be
I just
dry
wanted to
cleaned,
keep
so.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And who
Smells
knows
of
what
dead.
else.
Traders stank
But,
on it.
It's dirty.
But I completely agree. I do think we need to do 2 on watch, because we don't know for sure if somebody might be coming for him, especially if they're watching, and they would know, as we do, that he's not dead. They could come help save him. So we need to. I think we should keep 2 on watch.
And with a room full of horses, it's not going to be very easy to get in here and not make any noise. But yes, I do agree. I do agree with 2.
How big's the room?
Yeah, we cramped in there.
I don't know. It didn't look very
like-
big on Astral.
Astro has bad deception in terms of size.
Look,
Elaeda pulls out that opaque gem and throws it back to Amos.
Oh, the red one.
Is that from Kahir's?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
by the way, that is a gem of. I wrote it down, but then it didn't save. But basically, it
it's a gem of
cloaks us.
great. It's a gem of greater protection of scrying.
Scrying?
It
It's
protects you
detection,
from
isn't
people
it?
of detection. Yeah.
Yeah, detection.
It protects you from detection magic.
Protects you from detection magic. Okay.
That might give us a bit of extra cover.
Well, I mean, if we've
Put
had
it
that
on
on
him.
that, and it's
Put it on
always
bias.
yeah, if it's all no protect. I think they can.
Don't put it on
Anything,
bias.
anything within 5 feet of that object cannot be
Okay.
the target of a detection spell, such as scrying or locate object, locate person.
Isn't it a 10-foot
Probably
radius?
need to be on Bias.
Was it does it say 10 foot or 10 feet?
I think 10 foot. That's the one thing I wrote down. 10-foot radius.
Okay, sure. 10 foot radius.
Okay, cool.
But
Maybe
you
don't
won't
put on this
encapsulate the whole
person though.
room.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll just sit next to within 10 feet of Vyas, so he would be included in that
Yeah,
radius.
just make your little sleeping thing there. That even if you're asleep or whatever, it still would be protective. So.
Before we get too far ahead though, can I cast Find Familiar to bring back Gideon?
Yeah, you can do that as a
Alright,
ritual.
Beautiful. That's my last
Rip.
first. Oh no.
If you
got one
cast
more.
if you cast it as a ritual, it doesn't use a spell slot.
Oh, okay, cool.
It takes like an extra 5 minutes. That's it.
Okay, so if we're attempting to long rest by the sounds of it, can I clarify a couple of things? The crossbow I picked up, is that a light or a hand crossbow?
The light crossbow.
Light crossbow. I would also like to check the bag of spell components. Is there anything interesting in there? Or is it just your standard spell components?
It's a bunch of spell components.
Yeah.
That range. There's nothing that looks like it's worth a lot.
Yeah.
There's some, like a couple of
Bits
random
of-
little things.
Bits of fleece and like,
a
anything else you
snake,
would use.
snake tongue, bit of fleece, some bat poo.
Cool. And then with the spell book,
Guado.
I would like to.
Bat guado. If those that know D&D know what that's for.
A Guado bowl.
Some COVID.
Collect the whole set. Isn't that on Ace Ventura?
It is. It is.
Guado.
What else? What else? What else? you
The
guys doing there?
spell book. I wanted to have a read through it and check it, investigate it. I guess.
Yeah, it's.
Check anything I can in it.
You can roll me an Arcana check if
Arcana.
you want. It is a wizard spellbook. You cannot cast anything from it. You do not know how to cast it. They are not scrolls. It is written in his own notation and everything, so you don't really know what to do with it. But it basically lists a few of his magic spells.
Right. I rolled a 7 anyway, so.
Yeah, it lists a bunch of magic.
Okay, maybe I can give it to the wizard sorcerer university or something. Maybe they can do something with it. Okay, no, that's pretty much it. I'm going to then attempt to long rest as well, I guess.
Who's going to take first
was-
watch? Did we?
I'll stay up. First watch.
I'll stay up too.
There you go.
Wake me when you guys are ready to go to sleep. I'll go next.
And I guess Amos as well. I don't know if Fluffy's.
Yeah, we can let Fluffy rest.
I'm out.
Has been for like probably an hour or so.
Yep.
So just keep in mind, how long are you guys planning on? If you guys are doing a long rest is like 8 hours,
Hmm.
and
We're going
like 6
back and
hours of
forward.
that is meant to be sleep.
So we get
So
up. We'd
you're-
be up like before noon ish, like 10-ish,
Mm.
11-ish.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you're wanting to have 2 people on watch,
Oh,
We do one and
guess-
one owl, and then I can have the owl make a ruckus if need be.
yeah, because Gideon will be awake. Gideon can be awake the whole time. Now, is Vyas bound at all? Have you guys done anything to that regard?
Tied
We
his hands.
did tie him up.
Tied his hands. Okay.
Did you tie his
I
feet as well? You should tie his feet as well.
Okay.
We'll do that. I'll stuff a sock in his mouth as well. Just in
good
case.
call.
That's probably a good idea in case so he can't.
We have socks.
Gag him.
Oh, can we actually let's hog tie him?
A foot linen.
Getting a
Yeah,
little
so
bit
basically, so I don't want him to be able to do anything with his hands while he's bound, basically.
Yeah, no
So
spells
he-
and shit.
And then if he's got something in his mouth as well, then he can't do anything verbal as well.
You tie it like
Yeah.
and just shove
Okay,
it in there.
No
but you can tie
worries.
it
That's
long enough. Yeah.
easy enough. You guys tie up his hands, tie up his feet, and gag him.
String him from the ceiling.
One of those.
Yeah,
Give him
let's just do it.
very clear instructions on what to look out if he if his lips move, tongue moves, his fingers twitch. Like
If Vyas does anything, wake you. Got it.
if he so much as like farts, like I want to know.
Okay. First 2-hour watch is being handled by Azoth. Is everyone else just roll me a perception check, Azoth.
Okay.
Share that chocolate.
We're all gonna die.
Hello. Okay, maybe.
There's a ginormous earthquake and we're buried.
You're kind of just like distracted by the day's events, and you're just kind of like just focused on Vyas, but you are very tired. It's like early morning, and you're very thankful for when you think your time's about up, and you can pass the time over to whoever's next, which I think was going to be Elaeda.
I would have guessed Elaeda. I know.
I did say thought you were going to say days distracted by days of our lives, but that's okay.
Okay. Elaeda, you're next up on watch. You've got Gideon there with you. Can you roll me a perception check, please?
15.
See. After about most of your watch is going through kind of uneventfully. You can't hear anything else other than kind of the horses around you and some snoring from Fluffy nearby. And then after about an hour, you see Vyas start to kind of shift and move around, and his body seems to lighten up.
Yep.
And brighten.
Ooh.
I call Azoth over. I know he just fell asleep, but I sort of kick him. Maybe hang fire on your short rest, I think, is stirring.
Who's stirring? Stirring what? Dinner. Who?
Vyas is waking up.
Just getting my inner Bertrand Bell. All right, yeah. I'd love to play an old guy.
Same, actually.
Sorry. Yes. Thank you for waking me. Has he's not fully come to yet?
Kind of like kind of moving around on the floor. He kind of like opens his eyes and looks around, looks down at his hands and his feet. And then, like, eyes you guys off. He can't.
Suppose he's bound, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to do this now, or wait till the party's rested?
I'm gonna approach him. We're fine. Fluffy's not getting up anyway. It's definitely not Fluffy. I'm gonna approach him and kind of kneel down. And what am I gonna say? We kept you alive, not because we like you at all, but we would like some information. One way or another, my good friend Elaeda here is going to fulfill a promise she made quite a long time ago. But we'd just like a chat, if that's all right with you. I was just gonna untie his mouth, bound, whatever. But what I'm gonna do is because I summoned my hexblade, like I have to summon it. I'm gonna make it look like I'm about to like untie him, kind of a thing. And like as my hands kind of come closer to him, the hexblade just kind of like whoosh, like in his face because I summoned it to my hands. And then I kind of use the hexblade to like to cut it off, to cut like the back kind of a thing.
Damn.
Savage.
I take it this is an intimidation tactic.
Oh yeah, this is we've just started an interrogation basically.
For pissing contest.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Cool. Bam. 17.
Awesome. Okay. He doesn't seem to react too much to the show of your sword. There's a little bit of like kind of, it's because it's suddenly in his face, but he's seen you summon it before. just kind of looks, just kind of eyes you off as you cut off his gag.
Elaeda, do you have your weapon drawn?
Yeah, Elaeda has drawn a rapier.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. What did he say right before he passed out?
He said it was too late. That Phoenix already knows.
Phoenix will have his destiny.
It was two things. It's like it's too late. He already knows. Phaenax will have his destiny. Was what was said.
Okay. So as far as we understand, you've already communed with Phaenax. Is that correct?
Of course.
And you had a good old chat, did you? What did you talk about?
Matters are between the gods and I.
Right.
What? You don't think I was willing to die for him?
Line.
I've done it once before.
Willing to die, yes. I was the one that sent you there. But surely, if you're so confident that there's nothing we could do about it, there's no harm in you sharing what it was that you discussed.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I like it. That was good.
Playing to his ego.
Yeah.
It's just a solid 8.
Oh.
Well, inevitable is one thing, but some things are a matter of time.
And what was it that Phaenax was the god of again?
Trickery and like deceit.
Are you asking Vyas or?
I'm asking him this, yes.
Oh, sorry.
I'm waiting for him to respond.
Deception.
So,
tricks.
Is there even any
Funny
merit?
tricks, and he pulls his hands apart.
Oh, he's fucking like. He's probably like ghostly.
His hands just pass through the bindings.
Yeah.
Well done.
He doesn't do anything else other than that. Just does that.
Falls apart. Has he regained all his health, or is he only still? Does he still look partially?
He doesn't look like he's like at full strength. He still looks like hurt.
So he looks in pain?
Not in pain, but just not like he doesn't look like he's as
like fully recovered.
Fully recovered, yeah.
You do understand what happens if Phaenax has his destiny, right?
Of course. Do you?
I mean, have I seen a Titan in my lifetime? No. I've read books. And I believe it was Titans, plural. What? I don't know if that's
destruction
something
and creation.
Yeah, but I
New
like being
age
alive.
Is dawning.
All right. Well, I feel like this isn't going anywhere.
Really should have planned a script before waking him up.
Yeah, honestly. Facts. Is there any? Does Elaeda know anything that can cause pain to a returned or an Eidolon? Or it's hard because for them, like some of them want to die, like they've been around for too long. It's almost the maddening side of it. So if there's any way we can mess with him mentally.
From what you know of Eidolons, pain isn't really like they have a life force, but pain isn't like a massive deal.
Yeah.
You probably get the idea that the best way to mess with him is mentally.
Yeah, okay. I think we might need to wake up the others.
Yeah,
They
sure.
might have,
Well,
yeah. So I'd like to stir everyone but Fluffy up. At least the warlocks and the bards and the ones that might have
Big
something
Fluffy
up their sleeve.
You wake up, Amos and Lyndall, and you guys awaken to see still tied at the legs and kind of sitting down against the wall, Vyas, kind of looking around curiously.
Question: my little sleep.
Mhm.
Is that a short rest?
I think
An
in
hour?
like the 2 hours of sitting down on watch and then the 1 hour sleep, yeah.
Sick. All right, just want to know in this particular moment. Thank you.
So I'm
Fabulous.
gonna wake up.
Yeah. I'll sit up and see him right away. And has he said anything?
Not since you've awoken. He's just kind of sitting there.
No, I just asked Azoth
Oh, right.
and Elaeda. Has he said anything? Has he spoken of anything?
He's
Nothing of great
only
use.
bragged really about
Hmm.
about the position that we're in and that we just need to pick a side. There's not really much else we can do. He seems quite confident on Vanax's position. There's little that we can do to really stir any information. He's refusing to talk otherwise.
Did you tell him we've already found the secrets below the River Tricks? Behind the River Tricks?
No,
No.
that is business of our own.
No, like he has his.
Roll me a
secrets, we have our-
deception check. And be glad I'm not making you do it with disadvantage.
That's the Amos, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Amos.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to work out.
Damn it.
Oh, cool.
12.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch him to as
It
this
just
reaction
kind of
to that.
smiles.
Okay. Look, essentially, either we can, as bad as it sounds, torture him by means of the mind. Otherwise, if he's going to be redundant, then I see no reason having him live, and I'm happy to fulfill my end of the bargain. That's it.
Well,
Sorry,
Let me
last
talk-
time we spoke, you said Vyas wasn't a humanoid, didn't you, for charm person? You said he
Yes.
wasn't? Okay,
No.
good. Sorry, just double checking.
wait, he's not a humanoid?
He's not humanoid,
No.
no.
Hmm.
Eidolons are not humanoid. I thought that was the case, I just couldn't 100% remember.
What's this? So, Elaeda, he clearly wants to die. Like, he feels his job is done. What?
Yes.
Hmm.
One, he's not going to willingly share.
Servant's work is
Any-
never done.
That's
Okay, so
it-
you.
There's always more to do.
Vyas, do you want to live? And I'm going to hold my rapier to him.
So he's got three
No.
swords to him now. Not that Fluffy knows this, but
Yeah. Just kind of looks at your sword, sort of that the sword that Elaeda's holding, and like the sword that
Azoth's
that
holding.
Azos holding. What? Suppose I do.
Does Phaenax want you to live?
I assume so. I hope so.
And what do you think he'd do for you if you fulfilled your duties?
I've never asked that question. Faith is a funny thing.
Titans don't have a sense of humor. They're not funny.
I don't plan to be here when they come.
Well, why don't we end this now? I'm going to pull back my sword. Does he flinch?
I want to
But you're
step
doing
in
it in
and
intimidation.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Intimidation. What is that?
while he's doing this, can I do a quick insight check to like gauge his reaction as well?
Absolutely. Yep.
13.
14 on insight.
You get the sense that he doesn't think that this is going to be like that. That he's going for a kill here. Like he doesn't seem too concerned by the situation. Is probably the vibe you're getting, and he doesn't flinch from you drawing back the sword.
Elaeda whips out a rapier and drives it into his chest.
Roll me an attack. Also, actually, first of all, I'd like you to roll me a dexterity check.
Just to check. 18.
Yep. He gets to move first.
So how's that roll for the attack? Because it would be advantage because he's... Oh, wait. He's not bound anymore, so it wouldn't be advantage, would it?
Well,
because
his feet look bound, but as soon as this happens, his feet just go straight through the bindings.
Right.
See, this is the point of like, it's like, you're rolling an attack. It's like, okay, there's steps to that. You don't just like flash your sword. You come forward with a weapon, and in that moment, I now have to roll an insight check on you to be like, does he realize that you are coming forward to stab him?
Right.
And yes, he realizes
this is as bad as okay. This seems like a bit of a technical.
He is more scared of you than he is of Amos.
Yeah. All right.
Can I interrupt it? Can I interrupt her action?
You want to interrupt Elaeda? What are you trying to do?
I want to step in and kind of like as she's drawing her sword back, and grab and get really close to him and say, either it doesn't matter what you want. We're going to give you what you deserve. It's whether or not you want to share anything with us in a very intimidating and like I want him to either share with us.
Are you going to allow him to interpose?
I'll allow it. I'll let him finish.
Roll. You do that. Roll me another intimidation check.
Ooh, natural 17 for 22. I am going to let her have at you. Doesn't matter what you want or your god wants, because no one really cares.
What I want.
No,
what about what you want?
I want the world to not be destroyed, and we will succeed whether you're here or not.
Will you?
Damn, Lyndall.
Yes.
So where is behind the river?
What's
behind the river? You have no idea.
We've made it just fine so far.
And where to next? Oh, faithful band.
Elaeda.
The six heads.
I'll step back. I don't want to hear his trash. Elaeda. Give us our information or you're done.
You're done.
You're done. No attempt to deal.
Can I do another insight check as he's talking? I want to know if he's actually somewhat like worried or if he is being serious in his confidence that we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I want to know if he's concerned that we will find out how to find what's behind the river.
Can I insight check as well as like because I threatened first. Yeah. And then obviously Elaeda then threatened.
If you roll me insight checks, yeah.
12.
10.
12.
Too hard.
He seems to be quite serious about what he's saying.
Okay.
What do you mean by deal?
Well, there's always room for a bargain, isn't there?
We don't like to be ripped off.
I can
Didn't
see
go
that.
so well for us the last time. Why should I trust you this time?
Oh,
you
my work is not yet finished, Elaeda.
What do you propose?
That was the deal, was it not?
Your message was delivered. You said so yourself. As far as I'm concerned, our bargain is almost at an end.
As far as you're concerned. Oh, so righteous.
I want to reach through my computer screen and slap Dale.
Roll me a
Virtue.
DM takes 1 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
emotional damage.
1 virus damage.
And what would you have us negotiate with, Vias?
You'd like to know what's behind the river?
And what do you want? To be let go?
Perhaps. Be let go at some point. I assume you'd need me to. You wouldn't let me leave until you'd verified my information. But
You're going to take us there.
perhaps.
Elaeda?
I do not trust him.
But
Neither do I, but
I just kind of walk up to Elaeda to whisper more in her ear to just be like, but will we know where to go from here if he's gone?
We have a lead. To be honest, whatever comes out of his mouth is more likely to work against us than with us. He's got no incentive to help us, really. It's more so to waste our time and to buy as much time right now so we can recuperate. He's probably buying time right now just so he can plan his escape. So I'd rather make the decision now. Because if you feel as there's no more we can get out of him, I'd rather just end him here and now. As I say that last part out loud to everyone, to the whole group.
I agree with you, Elaeda. I think that 1, his job, as far as he's concerned, is done. 2, this is more deception. This man is an oracle of the god of deception. All this is going to do is lead us down more deceptive paths and could get us more lost than help us. Even though he's proposing a deal, like he's never going to frame that in a way that it actually helps us. Even if it does, it's probably going to ultimately harm us more than the little bit of help that he puts in our direction.
Yeah.
But as a group vote, I say we get rid of him unless he is very forthright with some information right now. But as the personal side of things, I think that it ultimately is your call, Elaeda.
Well, look, Vias, we have no reason to trust you. You know this. We're all smart people here. Is there anything you can say or do that you find appropriate that we would even allow you to leave this room? You've slipped away from us one too many times, even without your little assassin
Be
friend
fair,
to help you now.
it was once.
That once was more than enough.
That's
It's
right.
also fair.
Fooled me once. Shame on you.
He's looks like he's thinking about like maybe what could he offer you? Kind of.
Certainly not your word.
No. Doesn't seem you'd trust that, and well, I guess you wisened up to that. What would you like? What would it take from me? You say you want something, unless I give you something something useful. If I tell you what's behind the river, or where, is that what you seek?
Yes.
We're not even convinced we want to go across the river, as we were only following you, chasing you, which led us to that point.
So
Ah,
From
this
the
is very
conversations
true.
we had,
I would
We've-
like to point
we've-
out one thing. You did give my companions a mighty good head start.
What?
what?
The ones we just killed.
Of course.
Oh, they're dead. Now they're on their way.
Of course.
Oh,
Oh my god. Damn it. You bias.
oh, this fucking.
Elaeda, you
guy.
can kill him. You can kill him.
I mean,
Wait, no, don't kill him. Wait, I don't know. I don't know.
Wait,
All right,
Bias.
with the commotion,
Yeah, you've definitely woken up.
Fluffy
from this,
wakes
man.
up
There's so
now
much going
because
on.
there's so much going on, and I've been hearing what's been happening the last little bit. Don't kill him. No, he wants to die. He's just
Seems
said,
very lose.
Yeah,
but at the moment we've got eyes on him, and
we can't bind him. We can't
That's
keep
true.
him from leaving. Like how do we control his actions? How do we control what he tells someone? What he's, how do we control any of that?
Is there a way to
Literally need
bind
to be.
his soul?
It's literally an imposter among us. Sus.
Can I make an investigation check for any kind of vents in this dungeon? Any trapdoors.
why do I hear a reactor going
Fucking
off?
bias isn't doing any tasks.
I don't know what we like. I don't know, but I feel like that comment that he's just made with us
this is
helping his companions get to the underworld. I feel like we're doing him a favor by finishing him off. If he's here with
That's
us,
Eidolon.
He's Eidolon. Once he's dead, he's done. There's nothing else for him after his death. So
No respawn.
if Bias is alive,
he's not at the underworld.
sorry,
So is that right? He's not permadead. He's like exiled in magic.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you don't go like when your Eidolon dies, like you aren't going back to the underworld. Like your
Right.
spirit is gone.
So
Right.
Bias is the only means to communicate to the overworld by his companions, though, that we know of.
Perhaps
I'm assuming-
he was being chased by a group of crap. What are they called again?
Returned.
returned.
Returned. He was being chased by Returned. What if we gave him
To
the Returned?
We've got a.
Are you saying we should return him?
No.
We've got to find out who wanted him first.
Who's
Well-
the king? The king of the returned area. What was his name?
Adonis. Adonis.
Imeret.
Emirat.
Okay.
We're
Imeret
here.
is everything.
We're at the crypts of the lost, are we not?
Yeah.
So
We're
we're
the
just
crypts of the
outside
lost.
of Adonis.
I don't want to go meet this guy, but maybe we can do what Elaeda did earlier in promising someone who wants to die death if they
And ask
get
us to send her a
word.
message.
Yeah, some sort of a message for him to come back and try and get some information on if this is the guy that was trying to kill them.
Well, while we're saying this out loud, I want to look at Bias and gauge his
Yeah,
reaction
what's his-
to us talking about feeding him to the undead king here.
Roll me a insight check again.
Feeding him.
Just remind me, when we first came across his returned,
Mhm.
Vias' returned, where were we?
Outside the
Outside of Miletus.
Miletus.
Outside
Outside
Miletus?
Miletus.
next to
On the
the
roads and leaders. Okay,
next to the well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right, okay.
25 on that inside check.
Damn.
Wow.
You see poop
He seems more
going down
confused
his leg. Okay.
at the mention of you guys talking about like giving him to Timurit. Like, it's like to him it just like he seems to be confused at that idea and kind of just
I'll relay
like,
that to the group. He doesn't, via gauging his reaction, it doesn't seem to be bothering him too much if we were to do that. I'll whisper that to them.
think we can agree the one thing that we know for certain is that he doesn't want to die. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dodged my blade. So I think there's a little more we can get out of him.
Did you strike at all in the first place?
Well,
You
I tried
interrupted.
to.
He went
and
to strike and he kind of moved out of the way.
He did
And
flinch.
then I interrupted.
So
I don't. I don't.
Okay, so here's where we're at so far. We've basically just killed 4 of Phoenix's disciples and given them a much quicker route to the River Trix to be able to look for whatever they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We've captured Phoenix. He doesn't necessarily want to die. Vyas. But he doesn't necessarily want to die. But I think if he did die, it wouldn't be the end of the line. He's done enough now for Phoenix to achieve what he needs to. At this point, I think we need to take his information about what they were going to get at the River Trix, because we've now given them too much advantage by killing those 4 other disciples.
Yeah, but I think that whatever they gain back there is going to be relatively useless without Vyas, is what I'm suspecting. Like, I think there's going to be more code and things for him to decipher.
How do we know that he has
given
that information?
Because he mentioned that already, that he just needed to get there so that he could gain more information.
How do we know Kahir, another oracle that was also on Phainax's side, is not able to communicate with them as well?
Why would they have taken this route in the first place? Why wouldn't it have made more sense for them just to kill each other then and there?
Romeo and Juliet.
Perhaps she
More
can't answer.
options, right? Like, I mean, if they can make it there alive, then they don't have to go as dead. And
Because I
Because
think
then you have to like escape.
Yeah,
Actually,
'cause then they have to come back as returned if they can. Whereas
through the front door.
if they go through as there, then they're there. I guess they achieve their goal.
I don't know what
I
to do.
feel like we should force him to come with us at this point.
Do we have a way
Force
of
him.
forcing him?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if we play piggy in the middle and he's, we've got someone up the front, someone in the back. We haven't seen him move.
He can do that not dimension
No,
door. Sorry,
no,
that
teleport.
flick, Misty Step.
Misty
But he
Step.
can only do that. He can only do
That's
that
not
once.
very.
Everyone's awake right now, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your passive perceptions?
Seven,
Perception.
16.
17.
Mine's like 11 or something.
So 16 and 17 are the highest 2 I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So you two start to hear footsteps.
Shh.
Outside.
Listen. Yeah. Someone's coming. And we'll like make a more concerted effort to hear what's going on.
Roll me some perception checks now.
Perceptions?
Yeah, 16 is what again?
Dirty 20.
15.
Fuck me. 4.
Well,
Rolling trash.
So Fluffy, you
another D20.
hear steps that sound like they're coming down the stairs.
Oh,
And then
God.
you hear them kind of like reach the bottom and then get a little bit further away, as if they've gone to the right. And
With doggy
then
door.
you just hear a voice go, yes. I suppose that does make sense.
Do I
And then
recognize the voice?
You've not heard the voice before.
Okay.
Then you hear it. Then you hear the voice call out. I suppose that means you're behind door number 2. Would I be right?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
draw
go out
my
there.
great axe.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the door and go out.
Who is it? Occupado.
You open the door. You see a very well clothed gentleman looking fella who is about 6'2" in a very nice robe, holding a cane.
Human?
I'm
Human.
just gonna watch Vyas this whole time. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna make sure there's eyes on him. Like,
He looks at you as you look at him. He goes, "Ah, you must be Lyndall. How are you?"
I've been better. Who are you?
"My name's Krieg.
Krieg?
Lovely to finally meet you."
Krieg.
How do you know? How do you know me? I mean, have we met before?
"No, not at all."
So no, we haven't met. But how do you know me?
Well, word can travel fast around the circle of oracles, but that can be the way of things.
I want to give him a really close look and look to see if there's any symbolism of Phanex on him.
I'd jump on that too.
Roll me a perception check.
You're going to roll as well?
Actually, you go for it. I'll just give you advantage.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Or you can point at him and be like, "Look, it's just there."
15.
You don't see any symbol of Phanex. Instead, you see a symbol of the god of destiny,
Clothos?
Clothos.
Clothos, yeah.
I'm just gonna snarl like a unfriendly, like look real unfriendly, and I'm haggard as well, so I'm looking pretty unfriendly.
Well, Craig,
He just kind of looks at you and just kind of cocks his head and is like, "Can I help you, Fluffy?"
I was gonna say, if you know me, you know the others. And I gesture to the others. The others. This is Craig.
Krieg, not Craig.
Krieg. I'm sorry, Krieg.
Craig.
Craig.
Fluffy.
Krieg. The crag.
Fluffy sort of
What are you doing here?
Oh, following up on some loose ends, as it were.
You and us both.
I see that you've taken care of things better than I had expected.
You seem to know a
Maybe
lot about
worse,
us,
it
and I don't
seems.
know a lot about you, and that's not making me feel very comfortable, so I would start talking if I were you.
Destiny rarely makes people feel comfortable, and don't threaten me right now. And his face goes hardline for a moment before he just breaks back. Anyway.
I don't like this
So,
guy. I turn
Krieg,
around, I
it
turn to
seems
Amos
that-
and I don't like this guy.
Krieg, it seems like you're a firm believer of natural order and a preordained path for each individual.
Correct.
I take it, considering you know our names and you've come here and seen our objectives, I presume you have a stance on what it is that we're doing. Are you, in our eyes, friend or foe?
As it remains at the moment, I am merely here. Friend or foe is such a strange term. We all just have our role in destiny.
So
If
you
you're
have
asking
no
me if I'm
issue.
your enemy, I am not your enemy.
So I presume you have no issue with me doing this, and I just point my sword back at Vyas.
No?
Okay, cool. Making sure.
What's Vyas's reaction while Krieg is talking to us?
Vyas looks, and if he at this point, if he sees Krieg, almost seems to roll his eyes.
So they know each other. Vyas, do you know Krieg? Seeing that look.
I know of Krieg. Yes.
Would you like to speak to Vyas?
I would. Yes. That is why I came, actually.
fellas, shall we? I should stop saying fellas. I keep forgetting Elaeda is a woman. Group. Shall we let Krieg speak to Vias?
Not alone.
Not
I
alone.
want to be.
No, not alone.
Oh, sorry.
Of course, not alone.
Of course.
Well, now would
Come
be
on
the
in,
time
Krieg.
before we stick.
Not a conversation for all of you to hear, I am afraid.
Well, as you
Um,
can probably understand, we can't exactly let you speak to him alone, seeing as it's taken the better half of almost a week to actually get this.
and many near-death experiences.
Yes,
Like,
to get
we're
this
not gonna
Many,
let it
yes.
out
There
of our
has been many, hasn't there? Give me a second. I've got someone knocking outside on the window outside.
on the window. It's
Krieg!
Krieg!
Krieg?
Craig.
One of the sheep.
I'm sorry, did you say Creed? Thumbs wide open. Not that bad.
Someone forgot their key.
Oh,
Anyway.
lame.
Says, yes, there has been many near-death experiences. I've seen some of them. They were very intense. And well done to all of you for getting through. Some of the threads of fate were getting a little thin at times there.
Well, as you can probably understand, we can't exactly let you speak to Vias alone. Yes, we're not in the best standings at the moment, and I don't think it would be wise to just allow you to do
And
that.
one of you. Is that okay?
Elaeda's
Yeah.
I'm gonna
not
look.
moving. Doesn't break eye contact with Krieg.
I'm gonna kind of cock back. Elaeda, will you stay?
Yep.
Krieger will be just outside the door. If we hear anything, if anything sounds like it shouldn't be going the way we want it to, let's just say we're not out of the fight just yet.
Such a tired band of people. You do throw threats around a little too much.
I whisper and cast message and send it to Elaeda and say, we have this. If you need something, call us.
Understandable. She gestures that as if she was responding to Krieg.
Well, shall we then? And he walks forward into the room.
I guess we all walk out.
We leave the room.
Yeah. Just quickly, how long was I asleep for? It was an hour plus a watch plus another hour. Is that right?
It's been like 2 to 3 hours.
It was like 3 hours.
Okay.
You don't have anything back yet.
I got a short rest though. Yeah.
Short rest. Yeah.
Tell you what, looking forward to having some actual sleep that's uninterrupted.
Give me just a second, sorry.
I'll let you prepared as you talk to yourself.
Yeah. I want commitment. I want scripts.
Best believe I want accents.
Costumes!
If this goes well enough, we could all just leave. DM, you can finish this campaign on your own.
Spectators are
There's greater things happening here, guys. It's just all politics now.
He walks into the room. And he walks forward towards Vyas. About 10 feet away. So, destiny is a funny thing, isn't it? And to bring you to this location after so much. But you didn't think you'd be seeing my face after all this time.
He's still about to roleplay with himself.
I'm up against the door.
And he reaches over. And Elaeda, I need you to make a saving throw for me.
Kind of saving throw.
Give me a sec.
Oh. God. What was the fucking symbols on this guy? What
It's
god?
the god of destiny, Clovis.
God of Destiny.
Oh, god of destiny. That's right. Okay. Who's destiny? Our destiny.
Is he doing this as a reaction to me putting my ear up against the door? I want to feel responsible. Oh, okay.
You know what curiosity did to the cat, little fox.
Wisdom saving throw.
Schrodinger's.
17.
The spell goes through.
Oh,
Oh, it's a high DC, damn. Do we hear this?
do we hear anything?
No.
Oh, you mother
Oh.
trucking.
You didn't realize he was casting a spell. He just reaches over. He just kind of looks over at you. You hear a voice in your head. Just say, why don't you block your ears? And you're just compelled to do so. Just stick your fingers in your ears.
Command.
Earmuffs.
Command's only one
You're
word.
currently under the
Yeah,
you are currently under the effects of dominate person.
Dominate
Ooh.
person.
Hot.
In the right circumstances.
I'd like to expend my. Am I able to expend my inspiration, or is that too late? I should remember to have it.
I'll let you use it.
Come on.
Oh.
What does that do?
Ah, bad luck.
D6.
It's a D20. So
Oh,
roll with advantage.
Oh, the DM's advantage.
DM inspiration. Yeah, not bardic.
Oh.
DM inspiration.
All right, Elaeda blocks her ears.
What precedes is a conversation that you are not sure what it's about.
Yeah.
Gideon's still in the room.
Yeah. Can I shift into?
You can't. I mean, you could if he wasn't telling you what to do.
Oh, okay. So I'm like being properly
You
manipulated.
were being
not just...
full on puppeted. He could tell you whatever he wanted you to do, and you'd have to do it.
With
Kind of a choice.
like with Lyndall,
Mm-hmm.
I would have been listening out as well, just in case
Yeah,
something
sure.
fishy
You
was
can
going on.
roll me perception checks with disadvantage from the
Yeah.
other side of it to try to listen in.
Even though have expertise in.
Even though you got expertise.
Okay.
Expertise just gives you the plus to make it you more likely.
11.
Okay. You can't discern anything specific. He speaks to him for a few minutes. Oh, sorry. He speaks to him for a minute. At which point he turns back to you later, and the spell drops. You have your control back. He's awfully sorry about that, but as I said, not that this business isn't for everyone. I'm done though.
Can Elaeda gauge what like his intentions are? Whether he seems more inclined to assist Vyas, or if he seems more against him?
Roll me an insight check.
Oh my gosh, 8.
Hmm.
Hard to read.
Okay.
Are we
Well-
allowed back in the room now, or
I call out to the others to come in.
I bust in?
It
What's-
hurts my ear because I'm
You
like
don't, you,
blasted.
you don't know what's going
What's
on.
Vias's face?
You open the door and we all tumble in on each other.
All in, yeah.
How
we
many
weren't
of them
listening. We weren't. We
in his
weren't.
party?
We didn't hear anything.
4.
What is
How
that?
many people are in his party? Is it him and how
It's
many
him.
others?
He's
Just
on
him.
his own.
Yeah, it's just
He's
him.
Just him.
It's just him.
He's an arrogant son of a
Right.
bitch.
Okay.
Does he have an owl?
Confident AF. Yeah.
With
Nah,
Does he have an owl?
it's just on his own.
Krieg. So go for it.
What's Vias's reaction to what he's been told by Krieg? How does Vias look?
Vias is just staring at the ground.
Dejected?
Roll me an insight check.
You're 15.
You're not sure if it's dejected
Mm-hmm.
or resigned.
Mm.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Anyway, it was lovely to finally meet you all. I'm sure our paths will cross again, but I'll be on my way.
Perhaps before you go, we could exchange notes.
You're a weird dude, Krieg.
How? Yeah. If we
would
if we
like to
needed your
exchange.
help,
I'll come.
yeah. Now, how could we find you? I mean, if the situation
If
requires it, how could
Destiny
we find
demands
you?
it, I'll be there.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Lendl
Freaking
visually
oracles.
rolls his eyes and makes sure he can see it, like annoyed.
Fluffy turns to me and goes, fucking oracles.
And what do you see in our destiny?
I cannot reveal too much.
Of course, how it always is.
Yeah.
But much like the oracles of Athreos, occasionally people need a little nudge. Surely you can provide us some insight.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I like it.
Gosh, I should not be making these calls. Sorry, guys.
No, I mean,
It's
it's in your character, right? Like it's what you would do. So doesn't matter
14.
what you're-
14?
Thanks, man.
As well. It's funny. These events seem to have happened earlier than what Destiny suggested, but I suppose everything changes. Some things change within Destiny. Where you go from here, well, find out.
Next time on
Dragon Ball Z!
Yeah.
As if there's one thing I can offer. Well, I think you had it right earlier. I wouldn't trust a word out of that man's mouth.
Good enough for me. I look to the others, and almost with a look of requesting their permission. I would like to try and impale Bias, but I'm
I'll
waiting
send
for the
message.
signal.
Yeah, I'll send message again. Go ahead.
I'm nodding.
Do it. Do it.
Elaeda would like to cast Booming Blade and impale Bias.
I would like you to roll me another dexterity check as you move forward. To attempt
I
to
did.
move before Bias.
Yeah. 13.
Ooh, do I have another bardic? No, I don't have a bardic inspiration, do I? No, I'm pretty sure I don't. I wasn't tracking
Move
that. I was using
first.
on-
I do.
Roll me an attack with disadvantage. He is not letting you. He is not giving you the strike.
This guy doesn't want to die.
Beautiful. 23 at disadvantage.
Hits. Roll damage.
23 with disadvantage. Oh my
Rolled
goodness.
17 and an 18.
Oh my goodness, that's dope.
Huge.
Okay, off a few of these. So it's one cold. 9. It's 12 damage total. Oh, sorry. Yes, 12 damage total.
That was with the weapon damage, your booming blade extra D8 damage plus your cold damage.
Yes, there was actually quite low rolls.
Wow, that is unfortunate.
Hold on.
12 damage.
Yeah, no.
Should be like 2d8 plus 2d6, isn't it? Plus your modifier.
2d8 plus 1d6
1d6
plus 3.
plus your modifier.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay. No worries.
Damn, you
Okay.
rolled so low.
You roll real poor. That's unfortunate. You do it, and Vice is going to attempt to leave. And you're about to see him do something that you've not seen him do before.
Of course.
He walks backwards into the wall.
Oh, you.
Crying out loud.
Can I? There's no point in me trying
Which
to bust
wall?
through
Is
them.
it the one backing into the other room?
Yep.
It is? Can I run? Because I actually didn't go into the room. I'm still outside. I never said that I went inside. Can I go around?
Yeah. Roll me a dexterity check now to kind of get into. We'll do a quick little makeshift initiative. Whatever happens, this isn't taking long.
If we're a dexterity check, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
So,
does he take booming blade damage from moving?
Yeah, he does. Roll the damage.
dirty 20.
It's another 4.
4 points. So that's 16 in total.
16 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you say?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, easy. Yeah, you can move around inside of the room. You can movement and then action and then bonus action dash. You can
bonus action.
you get
cunning
around.
action. Yeah.
You can you see him appear on the other side of the wall.
Can I cast Firebolt?
Yeah, sure. Roll me an attack with disadvantage.
Oh. 16 and a 4.
Ouch.
I'm not even going to bother adding the extra.
His thing's pretty low. Was it like 13 or something?
Oh, is
Sure.
it? It's plus 7 then. Yeah.
So
so
11.
11.
No.
So I don't think it hits, yeah. I think it did. Pretty sure it was like 14 from memory. Something like that.
He gets to the door and turns back to you and says, I could leave. Don't kill me and I stay. And then by that time, you guys can come around.
What's Craig's reaction to this?
Go on.
Krieg looks a little amused.
Motherfucker.
Really don't like this guy.
No, I don't like him at all.
I think the reason you don't like him is a contrast because of Varys or Vias. Vias is such a piece of shit. He's manipulated the whole mindset around this.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah.
the other
but-
guy's just withholding because of like destiny.
Yes.
He's got destiny or not in the
Destiny. We would have heard
And
what
might as well be
Amos
as
has
useless
done.
as Phaenax.
I'm gonna run around the corner. As I run around, I'm just gonna like clumsily just hit Krieg on the way out, like just like shoulder, like not like shoulder charge, but just like nudge him as I go past.
As you do that, he kind of looks at you and he's like, "You've really got to get that temper sorted."
I'm a fucking Leonin.
And I'm gonna say to the guys, he says he won't leave if we don't kill him. He says he won't leave if we don't kill him.
And
What
Elaeda
do
would
you
like
want?
to. Yeah.
Vias, what do you want from us then? If you're not gonna leave and you don't want us to kill you, then what do you want from us?
Well, it would be somewhat difficult for me to get to the underworld on my own. I could do with some I could do with some assistance, I think.
That's why he needed the other group.
Yep.
How could we possibly help you get to the underworld?
Why would we possibly?
He wouldn't be able to get past the dog and whatever else is in the way. That's why he needed the group.
Why would you help? Well, you need to know where to go, and I need to get there. What happens as we get closer? Well, oh, that's anyone's game.
He's talking about a way into the underworld.
At this point, you see Krieg walk around the corner, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, Elaeda. Says, "I'm terribly sorry. And I need to make a saving throw."
Oh, gosh.
You see Vyas's head, and his eyes roll back as he just falls onto the ground.
What?
Destiny is a funny thing. I do so hate it when people run. Sorry. I didn't mean to interfere in your little...
Later cuts in out of frustration and says he was going to die regardless. The tidbits that he was giving, as little as they were, they were giving us direction, because clearly you're not willing to help us out. Understand that he would have died here. We would have seen to it. And I think you can vouch for that.
I am sorry, follower of Athreos. Life is not as simple as life and death, as your lights may teach.
But it's as simple as speaking of destiny and then interjecting your own hand to it.
Fluffy's like,
You are such an interesting mind. Feel like you'd belong more at home in the packs than you would behind the walls. Interesting, the hand you were dealt.
In the packs.
I've been told that before. Or something
In the
similar.
packs?
Supposed to be doing something different.
I want to know what he sees in my mind.
Supposed to be? I don't know about that.
Hey, what's the facts? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what's the packs?
Elaeda will go over to the body of Vyas and begin her ritual.
Okay.
Should we be doing this for everybody in the room? Would you want us to help with this?
Can we just check that he's definitely dead?
Is he definitely dead?
Is he still like see-through, or has he gone back to his
his
unconscious
body has
state?
gone. His body has gone like there is no light in it at all. It
Right.
seems it looks like a dead idol.
Looks like a dead island.
Yeah, like from the dead eidolons you've seen, it's a dead eidolon.
Right.
It's just this husk of a form now.
Yeah, while Elaeda's doing that, I'm going to take specifically out the 8 silver that I found on Kahir, and I'm going to start placing it on the eyes of, like I've seen Elaeda do, of the other 4 that are in the room, like assuming that she's going to want to do a similar burial ritual for them.
Elaeda thanks him.
No worries.
Turn around to Krieg. Turn around to Krieg and go, seriously, dude. What?
The Dickens.
Oh, I mean, sometimes it's just fun.
So I was right. You are just a dick.
No. Well.
You strike me as the kind of person that reads the last page of a book before starting it.
Now then, Judge, I have done that.
Surprisingly accurate.
I
So-
detest people like that.
Craig, where do you fit?
I simply seek that destiny plays out as intended.
So are you here for Vias's destiny or ours? Or one of us?
I'm not here for any one in particular, I'll be honest.
So
Well,
all of
you
us.
must
you're here
understand.
for a reason. What is it? What was it?
You're not.
He just kind of gestures over to the corpse.
We could have done that. So why did you have to come here? And what did you say to him? Well, Elaeda, what did he say to Vias in the room?
I was under his influence and did not hear anything. Although, if I put two and two together, it doesn't make sense for him to come to tell him something and then kill him. If anything, he was gaining information before killing him. So Vias had something that you wanted, apparently.
Always the astute observer.
What did he tell you?
Information.
And that information would be?
Useful.
You would think this guy follows Phanex with his freaking deception and cold shoulder. Man, like, why are you not being forthright? Like, why not? We're involved in this, deeply involved in this. I want to
Everyone's
persuade
involved in
him
this.
to tell us.
If you wish... Okay, roll me a persuasion check.
That is terrible. 14 total.
That's good enough.
Oh, okay. Thank
Well,
God for...
I guess it's quite simple sometimes. In this case, I got the information of what was behind the river. It's Phaenix's eidolon.
I knew it. I said that last session.
It's I require going to the temple to discover what path needs to be taken next, but if that is the information that you wish to know that I gained, that's it.
That is a huge step in the right direction in my mind.
Yeah.
Thank
Why-
you for sharing that.
Look,
Why is like trying to pull the
sometimes-
hen's teeth?
Look, I do apologize for my demeanor. It's difficult when you've seen as much as me. He just kind of like glances off and almost glazes off in the distance. To remember that sometimes people don't see as much. I do apologize. It's not my intent.
Just don't be a dick, dude.
I'll gesture to him as if I've accepted his apology. I do have another question though.
Yes?
We know that as a mortal, Phaenax's destiny was to release the Titans.
Yes.
How do you... If we interfere with that, are we interfering with your work?
Wow.
Complicated. What was that, sorry?
I said, wow, that was like, as in, that was a really good question.
You interfere. I don't know. I've not asked the gods about. I've not asked Clothis whether or not you're meant to interfere or not. That
We are
might be a
meant to.
question to ask.
I'm telling you we were meant to. Either way, we're going to, or we're going to die trying.
Well, that shall be entertaining. But I do hope you don't die.
Craig,
You're quite an entertaining group.
Krufix,
Continue to provide entertainment.
Heliod,
But I
and Erebos
go back to doing what I was doing before.
are the gods that put him down there.
Correct.
Are we... do we stand to
You're-
gain anything from following that lead.
That it was Krufix, Erebos, and Heliod.
Heliod.
We still, and this is me talking over the table, I guess, we still have someone who is seeking out and trying to stop Vyas that we don't know of.
Yeah, I'd like to know who that is too.
There are many threads you could pull, I believe. But as for which one of the gods could help, I mean, it stands to reason if you were seeking to get to the underworld, the god of the dead.
That's
But
the Erebos.
that's Erebos.
Yeah.
But as for Heliod, I hear he's difficult to contact recently.
Off meddling
And
in somebody's
Krufix.
affairs, I assume.
I'm not so sure. But Krufix, I don't think. Krufix may help. But tends to focus more on the field nowadays than things like that. But I suppose
Why?
I'd have to speak to Krufix. I'd have to speak to Clothus about it.
Why was it only those three that were concerned and did something about it? It seems like
You
there
ask
are
questions
others.
grander than myself. I do apologize. There are many other gods. I believe this is my history speaking here. Not all the gods were around back then.
Didn't it start
I'm not sure.
with only 5?
Yes. I believe it was just the 5.
And
Erebos, Heliod, Krufix, I believe Afara, and Clothus.
Farah.
I think it was Afara. How do I say it?
No, I think Farah's right.
wasn't the main 5? The 5 colours?
No.
Phalanx definitely wasn't one of them.
No.
Nope.
He became a god through this process, right? Of him. Azoth and Amos, you both have been quiet. Like, what are your thoughts?
Taking it all in.
Yes, I am not one to shy away from destiny, to be honest. And I tend to lean towards Krieg's thinking.
Because Krieg's thinking is very...
in killing Vyas, as he obviously did not do what Krieg had asked of him previously.
I guess now we just have to decide what our next steps are going to be. Are we going to go hunt down Phalanx's
We struggle to kill
Eidolon?
an everyday Eidolon. How are we going to kill the Eidolon of a god?
Yeah. A very good point.
Hopefully we hadn't fought a Guardian previously, but...
And
What
how...
we could do is try and protect the Eidolon, stop it from being... I take it the River of Tricks, he's not staying there by choice, gestures to Krieg. The Eidolon's being held captive.
That would make no sense. I can't imagine Phalanx's Eidolon would want to stay down there.
So maybe we need to speak with either
this-
Krufix, Heliod, or Erebos.
No, this group that we just killed are gonna go try to free him. That's what Bias
Do you
wanted
not
into the
listen
underworld.
to a word I said?
I mean,
You said so much that like you might as well be Phanex.
I
Speaking
said
in
don't
riddles.
trust Varyas. And here you are, trusting Varyas. It's like we're going through this all over again.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I apologize, Elaeda. You may want to remove those coins off their eyes.
Oh, yes. Elaeda
Hmm.
If
removes
that
their
is any
coins.
help, I do not wish to interpose on destiny any further. And he turns and starts to cast a spell. And then he takes a bow, says, I bid you good day, and farewell. And he steps back through a portal and is gone.
Yeah. I take the coins away. It's
Hmm.
very, very unintelligent on my part. The idea of the coins is to grant them safe passage across the river. Correct?
Yes.
So
Pays for the toll across the river.
give them no toll and then see that they have no monies on their persons as well. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
Which I think we took all the money out of the bodies.
Yeah,
That
you
wasn't
did.
Bias.
You took everything.
I check Vias again now that he's 100% with us.
Sure. Roll me an investigation check.
as Krieg leaves, like as the portal closes, I'm just like, "You're a dickhead."
Asshole.
Did the rest of you find him as confusing as
After
I did?
he's
Like,
gone,
that man
you
Yes.
hear a voice in your head. After he's gone, you hear a voice in your head.
Yes.
Just go, I really would appreciate it if you did deal with that temper. But
Good.
I love it.
it is quite entertaining.
I look around as if like I'm like an angry, like looking for a butterfly, like just like what the like have no idea where it's come from because I'm a Leonin, like
Yeah.
not very clever. I have no idea where their voice just came from. So you just see a really tall, skinny Leonin just dancing around, looking angry.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're overdue for a rest, and maybe we can discuss our next move.
I want out of this
I-
place.
yeah, I'm thinking-
I'm going mad. I want.
I'm thinking
I want
we jump back on the horses, haul
It feels
us
like a trap to stay down here.
where we got them from, and we find a place to sleep. There. It's in the morning,
Or at
yeah.
least get outside of the
So,
the land of whatever.
You would
I
take
think-
multiple points of
Crips.
exhaustion doing that.
Why?
Can we get out?
Because you guys haven't slept in a day.
I've slept for
Like, not
4
properly.
hours.
You got 3 just then.
I was 4 because I'd slept for an extra hour before everyone else had started to rest.
Yeah, when he was cuddling
Okay.
his bone
Yeah,
as
true.
well, he was sleeping.
And I
a
was
good hour.
sleeping when I was cuddling my bone as well. Yeah, that's right.
How
Um,
long would it take us to travel to the outskirts, like at just beyond the crypts of the Lost Souls?
Maybe hour or 2? 2 hours?
What if we did that? What if we traveled outside, made camp, and took a long rest there?
Yeah, I'm down.
Can we? Would it be possible to have a bit of a?
I was just about to say, for the sake of brevity, we'll say that you, as you guys go up the stairs, I will say the only notable thing as you go up the stairs, you see that the bones of the sentinel are about seems like almost half of them are gone.
They keep disappearing.
Also, Elaeda, did you want to do something with this return to pay him honor for helping us?
You already.
Remember the return? We
they-
left the
Sure,
body.
killed it.
No, we didn't.
I did before he
Yeah, it's
died.
dead,
Yeah.
but we didn't do anything for the returned body before we left.
Okay.
Can we just throw it into the big pyre that's there? The
I
big
thought we
fire.
did, to be honest.
You
No,
didn't,
we
you
didn't.
didn't burn it. You,
Oh no, we hid them.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I'd like
Um,
to do that.
Yeah, I think you can go out. You put the coins over its eyes, and you burn the body, and then you manage to find your way out quite quickly. And get like 2 hours, about 2 hours out when the kind of the roaming bands of returned start to become a little more sparse. At which point you can set up a camp there, and then you guys will take a long rest, and we'll take a bit of a break here.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Breaks all around.
Hooray!
so we'll
Long
come back
rest.
after a long rest, or before we do it.
Back up a long rest, we'll say.
Okay.
So
No
everyone
one's-
gets everyone will level up. Everyone gets all their stuff back. Your strength is back to full.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Oh, it's good.
I have spells.
Yep, all that
Yay.
stuff's back. You regain half of your level's worth of hit dice as well if you'd expended them.
I did not.
Cool. I get 1 back. So if I've used
Say that
3,
again. Half of my levels worth of hit dice.
Yeah, so if you use
So
any
new
hit
level?
points in our last short rest, you'll get half of those back. So if you use 2 out of 4, you get 2 back. If you've got 5, you get 2 back.
so if
But
I've
at
used
like
no idea how
a
much-
new level
I don't know how
being
many-
6 or old level?
Old level.
I know I
Old
wasn't
level,
full
because
health,
that's what
but
previous amount hit
I
die
have
you had.
no idea what my health was. I guess you go full health regardless, right?
Long
So-
rest gives you back
So I get
all health.
3. Yeah, you just get 3 hit dice if we do a short rest, or I will.
So I have a question for you.
Mhm.
So, being a barbarian, I'm obviously not very smart, but also would mean that my charisma is not the most high priority thing. But that would be where intimidation comes in. My question
Intimidation,
is,
I can let be rolled with a strength.
what
check.
was that was going to be my question, is if I was to make an intimidation, like be intimidating to someone, would I have to use strength, or if I was using words, is that more charisma based? Like,
If
is
you're
there a
using
line?
words, it's charisma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you are using your physicality,
Mm-hmm.
then I will let you roll with strength.
Yeah, so if I was
you
to
were
like
attempting
bang
to
a
be
table,
wordy with
like
it,
yeah, so if I was to like
Yeah,
bang a table, like pull out my axe and like
that's
like, or
a
flex,
strength based.
yeah, cool,
You
yeah,
are
yeah.
showing off
Yeah.
how fearsome you are,
yeah,
and you are using that to intimidate.
yeah,
In comparison to being like, "Don't test me,
yeah.
or I will end you." Like that is charisma based.
My other
intimidation.
question is, I've obviously daunting roar is something that I can do.
Mhm.
Could I use a roar as a intimidation as well? And what would I use on that, or is that just a question?
You can use your roar out of combat, and you
Yeah,
can
cool.
try to frighten someone.
Oh, cool. Yeah, like not daunting roar. I'm just talking roar in general.
Or you
Okay.
want to roar? If you roar, I would put that as like part of your like intimidation.
Is that
thing,
intimidation? Yeah. Yeah.
I assume that would be why you're roaring, is to intimidate someone.
Yeah, that would be the idea. Yeah, is that's going to be
like,
like
if someone-
performance, isn't it? So that's
maybe.
like,
I mean,
it's-
it
it's still
depends. I
charisma.
might even give you like like almost a constitution. Say,
yeah,
like,
right.
check to
Yeah.
be like how like much
How
of a roar do
how
you
deep
get out?
how deep down can
yeah.
I like pull from it? Yeah,
Like,
okay,
how
yeah,
powerful do you
Yeah.
actually roar?
yeah, yeah,
That's kind of an in the moment thing, is like to the why are you roaring?
Yeah.
Like essentially it's like, give me a roar check, like how powerful is your roar?
yeah. Cool.
And if you roll
yeah.
well enough in it, maybe I go, yeah, you have an advantage on your intimidation check.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Right?
Yeah. No, it's I'm just trying to learn. I guess trying to work out different ways that I can, I guess, behave as a character.
Yeah.
How
are you all feeling? I know everyone's a little. But...
I feel a little bad because I felt like I kind of commandeered a lot of that last section there,
No,
but
you're fine.
I feel like Linda would have been very frustrated with the perceived interference with the gods, and how, like, especially Destiny, like he thinks of all the gods, Destiny
hate Krieg
is the most bullshit, because he's like, no,
Yeah.
we make our own destiny, and the fact that the gods think that they control that is dumb. So, like, my opinion of Lyndall's opinion of of the god of destiny is probably equal to or lower than the god of than Fanax right now. Like even though all this bullshit is because of Fanax, like it's that like annoying.
Yeah, when I was writing Krieg, like some time ago, to be honest, I was like, and when I heard about your character, I'm like, oh, he's gonna hate Krieg.
I loved the way you were just talking to it. Like, it was just some of the things you were saying with it was so good.
Lindell to correct.
Oh yeah.
You guys had some great lines.
So good.
Some good questioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so like I mean, even just the concept of destiny is so ambiguous that like it's so contradictory too. And the fact that in a single sentence he says, like basically frames destiny as this immovable object, and then also says it can change. Like it's you know what I'm saying? I was just like, okay, buddy.
Why do you think I let the loot I dropped an F-bomb and then oracles like hello?
Yeah.
So sick of dealing with these people. Alright, I'll be back in a sec.
It's good though. But I am concerned, and this is like kind of meta talk, I think, but like with me acting that way, I'm concerned of what like the rest of the group and their characters might start thinking of Lindell, because he's so unpious. Like he is just does not like, and it's partially the way that he's raised, because he's raised very rich and very privileged and has had means to control basically the way his life has gone. And especially some of the other stuff that I've thought and written out, like the last couple days, I've kind of written out a little bit more of his backstory. And like the things
to
like,
some people,
just,
destiny is a good thing. Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, my destiny might be to leave this place. Whereas your character, like Lindell's always had the means to make his life better if he wanted it to. Like,
Right, so, like,
what does he need the gods for? Because he's
and he's always been preached at it. His destiny is to be a leader in the ways of his father and his grandfather and so on, and to walk in these steps and to be this shining beacon of the city, and that's not something he ever wanted. So and I can tell you about it later, Dale, but I've kind of like thought out a little bit more of like why, like where these thought process come from, and I've kind of went down the road of like he was really close with
Jackson, how you doing, man?
his mother's
No, one side away, dude.
father.
Not far
And
away.
up until recently, he passed away, and like they had like these
right.
They sat down and talked a lot about stuff like that because they had a lot of similarities in that realm. So
Yeah, cool.
pretty cool.
How are you going, Matt?
Pretty good.
Yep.
I hate you,
No, but
I equally love you and respect you as a DM. Well done. Well done. But nah, looks
Just
like having
unlucky
fun.
rolls, honestly, though.
I think a 17, like, I couldn't really have done much else. I burned that inspiration, but I thought, like, now's probably the better
Yeah,
time
it
to
was
use
worth it.
No, it was worth the try.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
it was fun just to like casually throw out a level 5 spell at you. I'm not gonna lie.
Dominate person.
Mm-hmm.
Have your fun, fair enough.
Just
Krieg seems fun.
freaks.
It's true, man.
Part of me's
He-
like, I feel like Dale was really enjoying playing Vias, and like I kind of like feel like a dick, but I just want to kill him at the same time. Like I don't know. If he lets me, he lets me. If he doesn't, he'll just do it anyway.
That's the thing is like, I enjoy playing most of the NPCs. Like, like even like the little ones, like that
Yeah.
that are just like
The barkeep, the different
like a
people.
barkeeper, the random minotaur that's just like doing his job, like a Thentos or something.
Phineas the horse breeder.
Phineas the horse breeder, yep. And his sidekick Ferb, Furbius. We'll make it a little bit
There you
Greek.
go.
Phineas and Phoebius, yeah, I like it.
Furbius.
And the main horse, Perry. A star prize stallion.
Dale,
He's the,
It's blue.
he's the breeding stud.
can
For all the other
I
warlords.
change Tash's Hideous Laughter to a different spell
Yes.
now? Cool.
Yes, you can.
You know, it's like I have such a cool level 3 spell, and it's like so hard for me not to want to like tell everybody about it. It's so fun. I can't wait to use it.
I'm excited for that. That sounds good.
Yeah, so this level is pretty big for me too. I get my Bardic Inspiration is a D8 now for you guys. So
Ooh, let's go.
and I get my Bardic Inspiration on a short rest as well now instead of a long rest.
Dale, the crossbow and the dagger that I picked up off the assassin,
Mhm.
if I put them in my attack weapons and cantrips section on my character sheet,
Mhm.
does that mean I'm carrying them, or is it just like adding them there in case I need to use them? How does that work in terms of like carrying weapons compared to weapons being able to be used and like? Because right
do you
now
want
I'm
them to be. Do you want them to be on you so that you can use them, or do you want
mostly
them to
just
be,
the
like, in your
dagger,
backpack?
not mostly just the dagger, not the crossbow.
Yeah, no worries. So chuck a dagger on there.
Yeah.
And and just write like poisoned dagger or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Just so that note's there, and then I'll let you know how much damage it does if you ever use it.
Okay.
You've got
cool.
the vials of poison as well, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've written
Yeah.
them in.
Or until you get the poison appraised, because you don't really know. Like you can get poison appraised and like find out what it is, and then I can give you the damage value of it.
Okay.
Actually, roll me a nature check. Nature check.
Nature.
Nature.
Mm, 12.
Yeah, so I assume we have taken watch and over this long rest, and during my watch, I'll let you finish this. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, you go. What do you want? I've just got to look.
I was
up
gonna say I
something
want to
quickly.
read. I want to read and look at the book that I got off of Kahir's body,
Ooh,
and I
yep.
want to look in it, and I want to inspect the symbols that I got off of their body and see if there's anything on either of them during my watch.
Sure. You see, the symbols just look like really fine craftsmanship, like these gold, like these small gold return faces, like winged return faces that is the symbol of Phaenax.
No like writing on them or anything coded that might seem to be information wise.
Not on the symbols themselves.
Oh, that took me a while.
Okay.
The book,
Hey?
on the other hand, you
dinner?
open up and you cannot read it.
Just like
It's in like in another language, or it's a code.
kebab meat stuff.
Yum.
Oh, it's so good.
What languages do you speak?
Common and Triton.
You don't speak the language.
Okay, all right.
What's happened?
Linda was just having a look at some stuff. Some stuff and things and stuff.
It's the stuff that I looted off of Kahir. Basically, I wanted to look at that while I was on my watch for over the night. Basically.
I can now recover a 3rd level spell.
Mm-hmm. On a short rest, it's pretty big for you.
Very big, especially considering I get another 3rd level spell.
Oh, right, the leveling up went through, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hot diggity dog. I didn't roll like trash this time for my freaking HP hit points.
Nice. I rolled really well on mine.
What did you roll for your nature check? Sorry.
14.
14. You're not sure what poison it is.
Okay.
Ooh, Actually, I feel like you should have advantage on that since you've got, just because of like being a rogue and stuff. This is stuff that
He's-
you've been around. So
He's
have advantage on the check.
experienced.
Oh,
See if
I
you
rolled
can-
better. 19.
Oy.
You recognize this poison as wyvern poison.
Wyvern poison.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Does he know what it does?
Poisons.
It is a poison that takes place on injury, so it has to be typically applied to weapons. And statistics-wise, it deals 7d6 poison damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful save, and it is a DC 15 Constitution check.
Oof.
What if you put it in the
Did you
canteen
say
with the pools
seven-
of lith and then shake it up?
7d6 on a
Yes.
fail. So if I dip my arrow with sneak attack, and if I crit, that's all.
You don't double poison
crit
damage.
poison. You don't double poison.
No, I know you don't double poison, but I still get
But
the
still.
damage off the arrow.
Yeah.
So it would be Jesus fucking Christ.
So-
It would be 3
Wow.
crit 3, 1, Hunter's Mark 1, and then 7, did you say, or 6?
You said
Seven.
7d6.
7d6. So it would be that many dice.
Oh my goodness.
Plunk.
That's a fuck ton of damage. That if I roll like correct and I hit a crit off the arrow, it's a like a almost one shot basically.
Wow.
40
But
to
you'd
60
probably
damage
have to
probably
like
per
what
damage.
what would be the go there? You'd probably have to like pre-tip your arrows.
Yeah, so I mean if I'm attacking with the arrows, I'd have to dip them in.
Like during combat as an action or something?
No, you'd have to do it pre. You'd have to like have it done pre-combat, wouldn't you?
How long would it last though?
Not sure. I mean, I don't even know if the.
Usually, you'd apply it like before.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
You'd have
yeah.
like 3
During your
poison
long
tip
rest, you
ammos.
would have done it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I just have to keep track of which arrows I would use for poison, which ones I'd use for.
Yeah.
Like,
On your sheet, there's multiple. You've got your ammunition, so you could have like you could change what you've got there.
yeah, I can.
Cool.
Nom, nom, nom.
All right.
I'd say it's probably during. Who had the second watch? Do you think?
Probably Elaeda. If we were,
Going off like me first and you, same thing. Like,
yeah,
I guess why not?
yeah, probably Elaeda.
I was always towards the end because I was always the one that was up.
Yeah, and I was kind of
Oh, you had to cook
always right,
breakfast. Like,
right
Yeah,
after. Or
So
right
I was
before
always
you,
usually
so-
last.
So Elaeda, as often is the case on Theros, when you look up at the stars at night, often they are depicting what is happening in Nyx, in the world of the gods, as the constellations move and shift and as basically the stars are a projection of the plane of Nyx.
Yep.
Nyx.
Nix.
Nyx, that's the one. Jeepers.
Nick's born.
You see in the constellations various of the a bunch of the gods reaching out with a hand, Phaenax in the middle with his hands like this. And as the night goes on, you see his hands start to spread.
Reassuring.
Oh dear.
And Athreos is there as well, trying to stop him.
You can see the form of Athreos in the stars, yes.
I can't really do anything during my watch.
The only gods that you note that are absent are Heliod, Mogus, Aroas, who in typical fashion can be seen somewhere else in the night sky fighting what looks like fighting each other. And this is Aroas and Mogus, that is. But the ones that are notably missing out of are Clothis and Heliod.
Bloody Heliod.
And Clothos as well.
Mm.
Krieg's bitch.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Or other way around, I guess, actually.
Heliod's my guy.
Mm.
I'm just concerned.
Daddy, where are you?
Daddy.
Elaeda probably won't do anything. Really.
Got abandonment issues.
I mean,
Yeah, just leading up, watching it, just shit.
After like an hour of watching it, you see the stars suddenly shift as the hands separate, and you all awaken as you feel the ground shake.
Oh my.
Okay.
Did we get our long rest in?
I look at Elaeda. What's going on?
It only lasts for a few seconds, and then as you look back up, point to the sky, you all look and you see what I had just described, and then you see it all fade.
All
And
stars
for the first time in your life, you look up at a sky with no stars.
That is creepy.
And anyone in Theros would be freaking the fuck out about that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's weird.
Can Elaeda attempt to make contact with Athreos? I don't know if she's sort of as an oracle.
You aren't an oracle.
Sorry,
like
not
an
oracle.
acolyte.
Yeah, acolyte. Sorry.
You tend to speak. You tend to speak to Athreos through other people. You don't really speak directly to him.
I think we need to get back to civilization as soon as possible.
After a few seconds, the stars seem to come back. Their gods are no longer where they are or where they were before in the constellations. You can't make out the constellations of the gods anymore.
At all. Huh.
I want to pull out my page that I traced down the constellation, and I want to look at that and see if it sparks anything from my memory that I just saw and what I'm seeing now. Especially since...
roll me a perception check.
16.
Doesn't ring any bells, doesn't seem to align with anything that's there.
Okay.
Are we all awake now?
You all got woken up by the ground shaking.
Is this middle of the night or
like really early morning?
Really
like
early morning,
like
okay.
like 4. This is like like 4 a.m. type thing.
I'm gonna head back to bed so I can complete my long rest.
No worries.
Do I being an Aros devotee, or votary, sorry, there's no, like, I can't contact him at all, or do I feel any different? Like, do I?
No.
I don't feel anything's changed.
No.
I still have my strength.
You still feel like you have the strength that's been given to you.
Is there a rock
Through-
nearby?
Yeah,
Can I attack said rock with my axe?
sure. You hit it. It's an inanimate rock. You hit it.
Do I see any radiant damage burst out
you
of hitting the
raging?
rock? Yes.
Sure, you can use a rage. You can hit the rock, and it seems to glimmer with a bit of radiant.
Okay.
Like your strike
Axe
seems to glimmer
breaks.
with radiant force.
Okay.
No, his axe is way stronger than a rock. This ain't the One Ring.
One rock.
Okay. I go back to sleep too.
See Fluffy get up.
Just falls right back up.
He's sleep.
Totally
he's
see it,
swinging.
too.
Confident.
He's sleep swinging.
Don't be around him. Give Fluffy some distance when he's sleeping.
As I fall back asleep, I wonder to myself, like, and start thinking about my my patron, and if I'll ever see him again, you know, the Archon, and wonder what that meant, and if there's anything further for me in that regard as I fall asleep. Have that on my mind.
Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, I need to drag you into another call.
Mm.
So, we'll be right back.
Oh. Wow.
We take this time to discuss our sponsors. No, we don't have any sponsors.
Yet.
Lol. Hey, if you're out there and you'd
D&D
like to
Beyond.
sponsor,
Send us
like to
tablets,
sponsor-
we'll use them.
Yeah, tablets, nondescript tablets.
Astral Tabletop. When it's not dead, we use it.
Mm.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this would not be the case. They had the right funding, they'd have the right support team, and
All the support they need.
They
Astral
certainly have
needs
extra-
you.
They're going to pay us with the money they don't have to fix their shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Announce to you that they don't have enough money to fix their shit.
So that was weird, right?
Information shared is information halved.
I feel like it's like a really, really bad.
Omen.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a vision. Apparently, it's some stuff that's happening.
Hmm.
Ground shaking, stars and stuff.
Vanex opening something is not a good idea. It's not a good thing.
I'm so confused because I'm meant to be the character that understands all this stuff, but Eidolon's trapped in Nyx. But
Hey?
Vanex's Eidolon is trapped in Nyx. Isn't it? Not in Nyx, sorry, in
There's Vias, the river.
the river behind the.
That's what's behind the river tricks.
Yeah.
Vanex
So,
is idle on
this
it.
is the other thing, right? So, what's his name's told us not to trust anything that Vias was
Craig.
saying.
Yeah.
Craig.
Krieg.
Yeah. Krieg's told us not to trust anything that Vias has said, and yet he's taken Vias's word on the fact that Phaenix's Eidolon is sitting behind the river.
So that's what he said that Vias told him. Because
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. He's trusting in what Vias is saying. So, you see what I'm getting at? Like,
Yeah.
It might not be.
He didn't seem very trustworthy either. He's like, okay, yeah, one person can listen and then put a spell on Elaeda.
Yeah,
like,
that was a dick move.
There's no
If I had to-
cooperation really from.
It's a sort of lesser of two evils situation. I feel like regardless, like Vice was yeah.
Vias has got more skin in the game than Creed.
Yeah, and he literally follows the god of deception, whereas yeah, other guy, I feel like he's on the other coin, you know, following Destiny. He's sort of gonna have a one-track mind.
But then interferes with it potentially.
Yeah, so he steps in, but I guess you can almost say like he's rooting for us, or I don't know. If one is patronage.
Surely that's not kosher.
No, it's against the rules. I should know. Like it happened to Elaeda. She broke the rules and she got, mind you, because of Vias, who ended up cheating us.
All good things.
All good things. I didn't even get to deal with the killing blow.
After all that, bro.
Yeah.
After all that.
Sure, they'll work away where they're like double crossing us and double crossing each other, and then they both come back.
Double crossing. That all was very. I was quite nervous with that whole everything that was going on since Vias woke up to when he was killed.
Yeah,
it was very. The fuck's going on here?
but he didn't want to die. We know that.
Yeah.
He told us more with what he didn't say really, more about his behavior.
That's true.
You know, he was very egotistical, but you know, like it's too late, blah blah blah. But also, he wasn't ready to go. So clearly, you know, there is still time or space to interfere.
Fake it till you make it.
I want to know where Heliod is.
Well, I don't know if Azoth has shared this, because there was one or two episodes where we kind of spoke about more backstory stuff. But Azoth was pretty much sent off from the temple because the temple and the stuff hadn't really had word from Heliod for a little while, like a noticeably long time. So all of this talking about, you know, Heliod's not in the constellation, whatever it was, kind of aligns with that.
Yeah, okay.
What did I miss?
Linda, I was just saying, because we were just talking about, you know, Heliod not being in that constellation stuff, and apparently he was involved with putting or stopping Phaenax or something. Heliod keeps coming up, but he wasn't in the constellation. I was just saying to the guys, I don't know if Azoth has said this yet. There was a few times where we had kind of conversations about backstory and stuff, but we'll say by now he has certainly said, if not now, because it's quite relevant, if not then now, that my kind of mission in the first place really was to go and search for word from Heliod, because the temples and stuff hadn't really, there was no signs, no word. So with this kind of new, you know, he's not even in the constellation, he seems to be missing from certain signs and visions or whatever, kind of aligns with that. Which is when I had my scene in the temple and I spoke to oh damn, I forget her name now. It's in
Lilio.
Lilia, damn, good fucking memory. Yeah. You know, I said to her I know this wasn't the path for me that, you know, you guys intended me to take, because it's not to do with Heliod, but I believe it's going to point me in the right direction. So just trust me. So now we're kind of.
It feels like it really has, yeah.
Now it's getting into Heliod stuff, so I'll just say that at some point, once we kind of saw that, even now, pretty perfect time after the stars and stuff. Maybe I'll just share that with the party of just it seems like, you know, this kind of coincides with what I'm kind of here for. You know, as much as Elaeda's spoken about her involvement in what's going on, I'll just say that this is interesting to me.
Have you thought of going to other temples, or? I mean, Athreos is sort of the bridge between, you know, life and death I guess he gets around on the river. He might know of Heliod's whereabouts, or might have a lead.
What's this? Sorry, what was the?
Just to find
Oh,
out
just
what
say-
he's been. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking to find where Heliod might be, have you thought of looking towards other temples?
No,
So
No.
if they know anything, or
just kind of like been following along. This is why sometimes Azoth will just more kind of an observer. Like he's just trying to piece together bits of a puzzle that are face down. Not really sure what's going on. Kind of waiting for something to click, maybe, but yeah, not quite sure. So we're awake.
You're awake. Tis the morning.
So-
You have all leveled up and somehow gained extra spells.
So I want to, as we're awake and like I say, maybe eating breakfast and just having our morning conversation, I want to pass the book, Kahir's book, around and see if it means anything to anybody. It's in, guys. I found this book on Kahir's body, and last night I was thumbing through it, and it seems to be in a language that I don't understand. So I'll hand it to Amos and see what you.
And everyone,
See if you can
please
make a
list
list of
off
anything.
their languages for me, please.
Leonin, common. Athlete.
Amos.
Sylvan.
Sylvan.
I'm yet to pick a second.
And thieves can't. Sorry, thieves can't as well.
These can't, yeah. Azoth.
Other than common, obviously, celestial, primordial, and sylvan.
Okay. And Elaeda.
Let's go with Elvish. Is that a thing? I haven't picked my second
Sure.
language yet, apparently.
It can be like an old dialect of the plane that most people don't speak because there are no elves on Theros.
Pick
Let's
the
do that.
language of the book. Pick the language
Really?
of just the book of.
We don't know what it is. I haven't given it to her.
No.
I'm
Oh
thinking.
wait,
of
what are we
Ravnica,
talking about?
sorry.
I blacked out. What
You
were we
could go
doing
like
languages for?
so you could go what I think could make sense for you is like it's not primordial, what is it? The bloody deep speech. I think it is. Which is like the language of like zombies and the likes.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
the like aberrations and that kind of thing.
Done.
It's like
Yeah,
the
so-
other one other than like you've got like infernal and then like I think it's called deep speech. I think is the name for it. Let me have a quick look.
So Atticus, I had Lindo found a book that was on Kahir's body, and it's written in a language that I don't know. So I was going to hand it
Oh.
out to you guys and let you look at it.
So is that what we're doing? We're all looking at it.
Mhm.
Pebble's just finding out who understands, who may understand
understands
it.
it.
Who might? Yeah. Mhm.
So with us all looking at it and you knowing everyone's languages, can you tell us who can read it?
Well, I think so. You said
Anyone?
you were deep speech. What was yours again, Lyndall?
Mine was Triton. So.
Triton.
Mhm.
I'm Sylvan.
Amos, Sylvan. You said you just Leonin, wasn't it?
It says that, like, on my sheet, it says, like, common Leonin, and then from athlete background, it says language.
Yeah, so
proficiency
you
was
need
gained
you
from...
gain a language from athlete background, so you have to pick a language.
Oh, right, okay. Let me find the languages and I'll pick one.
Pick one that makes sense for Fluffy, please.
Of course.
Didn't we talk about it being Sylvan because you were raised alongside?
Oh yeah, no, it was yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Because you guys spoke together to each other in Sylvan early in the campaign.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. No, you're right.
Back in the earlier episodes.
Okay, so I don't think any of you can understand it.
Single digit episodes.
Can I do primordial as well? I do have
You
a
want to do
second language
primordial?
as well.
No worries. Yep.
But
How do I spell Sylvan?
is it a language that, even though we don't speak it, is there anyone that could recognize it as something identifiable as, oh, that could be X language or
Roll
Or is it
me a
something
history
to-
check. Probably anyone proficient in history, and I would say you because of the amount of things you would read in stories.
yeah.
Not proficient in history.
No, neither.
Dirty 19.
Ooh.
13?
That is
Lyndall, you're not sure, but you've seen some of the characters in your younger dealings when you were taken around to temples. You've seen some of the characters in on some of the works of oracles.
Okay. At least something.
You don't know the
An
language.
oracle. Oh, does it look? Oh, can I ask this? We're all seeing this, right?
Yeah, he's showing everyone.
Does it? Because we've all had seen those masks and stuff that we got at the very start, the scrawlings on the back of the masks and stuff. Does it look similar to that kind of stuff? That code, like
Without
know.
being able to
we don't have
understand
it
the
with us.
language, it's hard to know. Like if you looked at Russian and you were like, is this coded? Or is it Russian? Like
Yeah, or
type thing, right?
Ukrainian or any of the other Eastern European languages.
Backwards N.
Okay.
Anything else?
No,
I'm
think so.
gonna
Not
go
for
for a
myself.
hunt.
So
Okay.
so we've just ridden out on horses, so I kind of like blanked from having a tea.
So you
tea
rode out
break.
of the place on your horses by 2 hours out, like just to get to the outskirts, and yeah, you've just slept through the night, woken up, kind of late morning at this point. Like it's because of like how late your evening was to get a good rest. You were up till late. Yeah, like you were trying to sleep till late morning.
I'd like to go hunting with Fluffy. I enjoy that. If
Yeah.
you allow it.
I rolled an 18 in my survival.
Okay, cool. You can find some tracks. Out in this area, it's pretty barren. So it's only like maybe some rabbit tracks. But
Yep.
there's that. If you'd like to start tracking it,
I'd like to stealthily start tracking it.
roll me a couple of stealth checks between you guys.
And I'm tracking Fluffy.
9.
Tracking Fluffy, tracking the tracks.
9 as well.
Oh my god, there's these giant Leonin tracks here.
Wait, that was for stealth.
Yeah. You get maybe 100 feet away from it before you see it start to bolt.
Can I use my keen Leonin senses to try and hunt it down? I am a lion.
Can I correct my mistake somehow? Does my
Can I go savage?
I mean, you can try. This thing's just going to run down its burrow.
Yeah, well, I might try and throw a spear at it before
Idiot
it gets there.
to just hover above as well, just to see
Sure.
what they're going to do.
Roll me a dex check to see if you can move first to get close enough to throw your javelin.
17.
Nope.
Ah, damn, you suck.
Rolled a nat 18.
I hate you.
Gets down. It gets away.
Yeah, okay.
OP bunny.
I lose. Lose the scent.
One of these days we're gonna have that that moment. What
A
is it?
sweet
the
breakfast.
the opening scene from The Last of Us with the rabbit.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Have you seen that that streamer that's just like
Yeah,
thing I've ever
yeah,
seen?
and then she just cries when it dies. Yeah,
So good.
so
Yes.
good,
It's beautiful. It's
So
such
good.
a good thing.
so good. All right, I just trudged my way back to the group.
Okay. Seems to be pretty common.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
We're gonna get him
hunting.
next time.
I'm so big.
Okay.
Fluffy.
You're better
Take-
at hunting big game.
Yeah,
than
I,
rabbits.
I need to hunt like a
Take-
deer.
Take Amos with you next time. Maybe you can kill another rare species of
If you
ram.
can
Oh
just
my
make it
goodness. Nix ram, and then destroy it.
It sure,
That's right. With all the
it sure
stars
was
disappearing,
delicious, though. It was
So-
absolutely beautiful.
with all the disappearing
and the
stars
one
last night,
time-
there's probably no more Nyx rams left.
The one time we were actually able to do that, that was when we ended up slaying 2 chimera.
Two
yeah,
go
yeah.
afterwards. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
that was a good day.
that was a good. That was a good day. Oh, what memories!
What a day.
What memories!
It really is like just
When
a kind
life
of-
was simple.
It's just like a vision for how the day is going to go. What the
So-
morning hunt is like.
Seems so political now.
Yeah, things got so complicated with the end of the world.
Yeah.
Back when I was just fishing with Pa.
Alright,
Not a
well,
care
I
in
suppose
the
we're
world.
heading back to Akros.
Are we? Are we going to Miletus? Or I mean,
Wow, isn't that far?
Oh, we could go to a different town. We don't have to go to Miletus.
We're going to return the
or
horses.
Satessa. I mean,
I would say that I have
Fluffy
a lot
wants-
of I have
yeah.
a lot of money on this tournament. If we can get back to
Oh,
Miletus and the
yeah.
world's not going to
Yeah,
end
yeah.
in the next 5
We
days,
work-
then I mean,
We worked it
Wow.
out so that we'd be able to make it back in time.
well,
Ground's shaking
it's only
already.
been a day. Like all
Yeah,
the,
but we would
all
have
that
to-
happened in the day.
we would have to fast travel from the temple again because it's what was it? 2 days?
Yeah, 2 days from Akros to Miletus.
Yeah.
Oh, we wouldn't have to. If it was 5 days away, we're only there for a day.
Yeah,
We could take it back by horse.
is this?
Sure.
Yeah. So how
Enough
many days
horses.
has passed since we left Miletus?
I
GM.
thought it was 2, but
Half a day.
really,
You guys
we
teleported.
fast traveled and went
to
there at
Akros.
night. Yeah.
You guys teleported there,
Yeah.
and it's been like 12 hours, dude.
okay.
Like you went,
cool.
and then you like hightailed it over. Like you arrived at Akros last afternoon.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's
Right,
the
like-
morning of the next day. Yeah.
It's the morning of the next day.
Man,
It's been
Things
like
happen so
nuts.
fast.
16 to 18 hours since you got to Miletus.
Right. Okay.
Since you got to Akros, sorry. Like not much time has passed.
Man, I feel
You
like
can
it's been
easily
like
get
3
back.
weeks.
I think we've spent more
Well-
time, real time, talking about where we are than what we've spent in the place
yeah,
we've been.
actually, yeah.
Our episode
Well,
has lasted
I guess
longer.
What's the
the
plan?
thing is, do we want to return the horses for money, right? Like, I mean, I know I would like to because I don't like the idea of being in debt here. Like, I owe you guys for spotting me for this horse. So I would like to return the horses, but I don't know if we'll be able to fast travel back or be able to make our way back
I think it's
in
worth.
time. to
I think it's worth
Miletus.
going to
but I'll
a
let that be
temple.
you guys' call.
I think it's worth going to a temple to work out what the heck happened last night.
Yeah.
Is there any? I mean, come to think of it. Sorry, going back on the horses. How often have we been traveling between towns where these would actually come in handy? I would like thinking about it. Maybe keeping or holding onto them isn't such a bad idea, especially with the current state of things.
You're not wrong. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Did we pay like the renting fee and not
No,
the
you
buying?
bought them, and
We
then he
bought
said
them.
he'd buy them off you if you could return them in the exact same condition. Were his words,
Yeah.
I believe.
Okay.
Hmm.
What do the horses look like?
I mean, they look,
look
you know,
fun.
pretty good.
Does the
What do you get
horse
at-
seem mentally
Spent most of the time in a
okay?
fucking room.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they sat in a room for 12 hours. Rode for 4 hours and sat in a room for 12 hours and they've ridden for another 2 hours.
Most of the time,
I'm
it's
sure
been
they
sitting
won't-
out in the field right now. To be honest,
They weren't traumatized by all the Walking Dead and the giant skeleton monster
They're-
and the booms and
They're war horses, bro. They're fine.
And the ghost that walked through a wall.
yeah.
I've seen some shit.
Well, guys, Oh, I for one am for I think going straight back to Meletus via horseback and retaining said horses. Or if you're going to go to Acrolis, then we have to catch the teleporter back. Which is that a service
it's only like a day's travel by a hard day's travel of horse ride to get from
Meletus.
to Meletus from
Where we are.
Acrolis.
Yeah.
Like, pretty sure map wise it's like.
I'm pretty sure we
50
can't
Ks or
just go to a temple and use that every time, right? Like we kind of convinced
Yeah,
them
Yeah, I
I
that
would
was
it
gonna
think
say.
so. Not without purpose, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you would know
But-
that from like being there. You need good reason to use it, and you gave them very good reason last time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But is there one? Do we need to share information back with the temple? I mean, which I guess we could do once we get to Meletus as well. And I think it's a great idea that we ask around about what we saw in the constellations last night, as well as maybe
It's like 60, 70. It's like 60 to 70 kilometers to Meletus, and I feel like you can travel that in a
that's
day on a horseback
that's
easy.
easy on a horse, yeah.
Like,
Even without riding them super hard, I don't think.
Mm.
let me just
Like
find out how
a
fast.
horse full run can go like almost 60k, can't they? No,
So-
not that much.
So this would be in miles because we're American.
Yeah,
America.
America.
So at a canter, which I think is like just kind of would be what you would be doing. I would guess
Yeah, it's not full running.
that would take you about 6 hours
Right.
because you are not like lightly. You guys have a decent amount of gear with you, so you are
So
not
we're
like,
back by like 6 in the evening.
We can go straight to Canlos as well at the Temple of Athreos and see what is.
I would like to visit the temple again.
I think that's a
I
good
didn't get to
call.
I didn't get to do something that I wanted to do before. So.
Didn't you know the people at Acros though better than you know the people at Meletus?
yes.
Yes,
Elaeda did,
no,
yeah.
yes, but if we need to get in contact with them, we can through the Oracle at Meletus. But
Elaeda, asking Islindel, are you in good standing at the temple in Akros though? Having given all of this that's happened, I mean, isn't this kind of like taboo for you? I mean, do they know everything that's gone on? I mean, I would assume they have some information.
they know of the taboo I committed 5 years ago.
Mm,
Hence my striking out of certain
mm,
authorities and entitlements within the temple, but I am still contracted within them to complete said.
yeah,
I would like to point out
bounties.
you have actually now completed that
So
task.
letting them know that would be huge.
So, oh, actually, that was through Acrois, was it not?
That
or
was
was that-
through Acrolis, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
you
take
like
it-
you could go to any temple. You know that you could go to any
Yeah.
temple for
Yeah.
it.
Like there's
But like, yeah, that is probably
it's
something that
neither
would be
here
on
nor there.
latest mind.
I don't think it's a
Yeah.
big deal to go to Acros before we go back to Meletus.
I agree, but I'm along for the ride. I don't have anything that I necessarily need to do either place. So you guys let me know and I'm with you.
Given that I have 4 days to get back to Meletus, I'm not going to not concerned. Excuse me.
Well,
been a
do
big
you want
couple
to
of
spend
days.
a night in Acrois then?
I think we go and work out what's happening. What
I think
happened
we
last
should.
night?
That would be
Yeah, go to Acros. So let's work out what happened last night, and then and then go from there.
Okay, so you
Eyes
guys
off,
head back to
Amos.
Across.
Sound good?
Mhm.
Yep.
Cool.
you good with that, Azel?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
So you guys head to Across.
Hmm.
It's not too long a journey. What you do notice is that as you get closer, there's not many people around.
Hmm.
And as you see Across, you see an extremely large crowd gathered outside of the walls.
Okay.
And you see the walls lined with soldiers.
Can I look and see if it's the crowd is hostile towards the city? Like
Yeah. It doesn't take crazy eyes to see they're not armed. They look like
The soldiers
civilians.
aren't armed. Oh, the people aren't
No,
armed.
the,
Right,
the
okay.
people aren't armed below.
Yep.
I'd like to ask Gideon to scout ahead and just do a circle, not too close to the walls, but
Roll me a perception check. Lyndall, I want you to roll me a perception check as well.
Being tall and on a horse, what can I see over everyone else?
Yeah, you could roll me a perception too.
17.
22.
Okay. You see like you see essentially what the others see as well, as far as like a large group. What you can make out more so than Lyndall is that some of them seem to be almost wearing, like, as you get closer, they seem to be wearing clothing that you've never seen before. Some of them, like, and as you kind of look at them really closely, you don't recognize what they are.
Like as a race or as a people, we don't recognize them.
You don't recognize the race.
And I through Gideon?
So they're not satyr, minotaurs, centaurs, leonin, or human.
Not returned.
Correct.
The plot thickens.
Gravy.
What you see is a bunch of people that are very small. Very stout-looking figures.
Dwarves?
Small. We don't know.
Give me a toss.
We don't know.
You
gonna
don't
have to
know
toss
that,
me.
but they're these. As you approach, what you thought, like maybe, like you couldn't tell because there was nothing to really size them against. But as you get closer and you realize kind of their size to the walls, they're only like 3 to 4 foot tall.
How do you spell stout?
S-T-O-S-T.
S-T-O-U-T.
Yeah. Okay.
And most of them look like they're wearing like just everyday clothes. There are a few of them as you approach, or as you get closer, that do seem to be armed.
Do I notice that they all look like men, or are there some women in the group?
There appear to be some women in the group.
Okay.
Okay.
I can tell that they're women.
Yes, you can tell.
Okay. We're at Lord of the Rings jokes. I'm just going there with the Lord of the Rings jokes.
No, they've all got beards.
Even the infants.
They're born with them.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate. Yeah.
No, you see a bunch of very short, stocky-looking folk.
Are we close enough that they're paying attention to us or looking at us at all?
No, for the most part, they're kind of huddled in one area, like off to like a side of the wall. And as you get closer, you see that the guards on the wall aren't like drawing bows at them. They're just all standing there. Seems to be a level of unease about the Acroans.
I kick forward.
Okay. The dwarves seem very like concerned and just confused. You kick forward. Everyone like running, like kind of running up.
Yeah, as a group.
Probably won't be like going full pelt as we approach.
We keep the same
crowd.
pace, or I would at least. I don't think
Non-threatening pace.
So as you guys approach, you see some of the dwarves start to look over and point out at you, particularly at you, Fluffy. There is a lot. There are like almost all of them stare at you.
What are their? It's just a stare. It's not like a. What are their body? What's their body language?
Roll an insight.
30, 20. 21.
So there is an obvious amount of like uncomfortability to just them standing. As they look at you, there is this mixture of fear and awe and just particularly the little kids wonder, like
Seeing,
Like,
I assume I would-
Seeing the
adults-
wonder, like as I
the
get
adults
closer.
are more fearful and
Yeah.
almost like hold some of the kids back, but the kids look at you on this towering horse, this towering figure of like a Leonin, and the kids are just like,
I want to just kind of inconspicuously start like playing a soft tune on my sack, but to
As
kind
we
of like
return to town.
soften the mood and just kind of like feeling like I haven't had a performance in a while. Just like
roll me a
wanna
performance check.
soften the mode and yeah.
Can Elaeda assist with that with her? What do I have? I have something.
You have an instrument? Yeah.
Flute. Yeah.
Sure, you can attempt to assist the performance.
Do you want roll with advantage on that one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Go for it.
As
Okay,
there's kind of this
so-
backing tune to help along your
Rhythm
hopes
section.
to ease. Yeah,
24.
awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Wow.
tune that starts to, that just eases everyone, and you see kind of everyone just like start to almost move with the music a little bit as you guys kind of get close and as you get closer.
How close are we now?
Probably 100 feet.
Okay. They
30
keep going.
meters away. Yep.
I think once I reach the crowd, if they don't start to sort of move out of the way as we head towards the gates, I'll jump off and
They're
lead
not
the horse.
they're not blocking the gate.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
They're off to the side of it.
Oh, okay, cool. I will just stay on the horse then.
Okay.
Is there?
As you approach across from where you are, you're going up a hill.
Mhm.
I should have said this earlier. So you go up a hill,
Mhm.
and then it's almost like a cliff face to reach across. I
Okay.
would implore you all to, those of you that have the book or have access to the
Yep.
book online,
Yep.
go to page. If you would like to flick to page 87. You will see what the area around Acroas looks like, and the reason I say you are having to go up a hill, it is on cliffs.
88
Page 88.
Ah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool.
on the online version.
Yeah,
On the
cool,
online
cool.
88,
Yeah, cool.
okay.
Yep.
So you've gone up. As you reach the top where the gate is,
Mhm.
you look over the side, and you see a spattering of houses that are of a different build that you have never seen, and you and those that have been to Acroas a lot have never seen them before.
Is all of the wall, the gross wall, like intact? Like it's nothing's been broken?
Nope.
Okay. Looking over the small, stout-looking people, do I see like someone who would look like a leader, like someone who is, someone? No.
You see various people that look like guards,
Uh-huh.
but no one that looks like they're in charge.
Can I
The
go
guards
over?
are kind of like,
Can I go over to one of the small people guards?
Yep.
I'll hop off my horse, and I'll walk over to one of the guards and say, "Greetings. What are you guys doing outside of the walls? Why are we not inside?"
I don't even know where we are.
Okay, this is good info. Who are you?
Like- I'm Dutha. I'm a guard, or I was.
How did you get here?
I've been told this is. I don't know. I was on duty. We were just guarding our town, and he kind of points to the town that's lower. And then it seemed that everything started to shake, and then everything went black, and before I knew it, we were here. The village and all.
What time in the night did everything start to shake?
I mean, it was daylight for us. But
I'd say this was like maybe 8 hours ago.
Knowing from what we
Yes,
know, that's
that
the
lines
same.
up with about
Interesting. I'm sorry, I've never seen your race before. Like, can you help me with my name is Fluffy. I am a Leonin.
Leonin. You are huge.
Thank you. I think
We have similar things where I'm from. Have you ever heard of a tabaxi?
No, not that I'm aware of. No, I haven't heard of tabaxi. It sounds
they're like you, but smaller.
like
No, not as much hair.
doesn't sound as good if I'm
Kind of
being
like
honest.
a halfling is to me. I'm a dwarf.
Oh, dwarf. Oh, well, pleasure to meet you, good Sir Dwarf. Just killed a Mozzie. It's lovely to meet. It's great to meet you, Duther. And I reach down and try and shake his hand.
He like reaches up.
Yeah, and I'm impressed by his grip.
Yeah, you are. You really are.
The laugh. I'm sorry. With the voice check. Excuse me. I'd turn around to the rest of the guys. Guys! These are dwarves! Does that mean anything to any of you?
I'm not really paying attention. I would have jumped off the horse and kept playing my song and pointed in kind of the direction of the kids that would be, dancing and getting along with it. So
Where you said you're from? You said your village, which is, I'm assuming, this group of people. Where was your village? Where, like, I'm from around this sort of area, but I've never seen this before. Like, what? Can you give me some sort of information on where you're from?
Look, I've been told not to say too much.
By who?
I believe our leader. They're in and having discussions with.
Okay.
I assume yours, if you are under these people. They're discussing what to do at the moment. It was rather a shock, I believe, for.
What's your leader's name?
Dentheos.
And do you know who he's talking to?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I assume the monarch, if that's how you work here as well.
we would know, right? Like or at least
Yes.
probably Linda would.
Akrois is a monarchy.
Okay.
He has no idea.
Okay.
I know, you know, he doesn't.
Okay. Is everyone else behind me like hearing my conversation?
I should say.
Like, guys. I turn around to the group, guys. What do you want to do? Like, this is weird. These people have rocked up with what seems like that shake, if I'm hearing this correctly, and yeah, I'm confused.
Starting to sound like maybe we don't have the time for a tournament after all.
Well, if that's the case, then that's the case. But yeah, I agree.
Things may be moving quite quickly.
It seems that way.
What do you guys like to do?
When throughout the time that they've been here, they would have when they came here, it would have still been the morning for us, yeah? Like for them, when they would teleported here. Duther, this morning, when you appeared here and you looked up into the sky, I'm assuming you looked up into the sky. Did you recognize the stars?
No. No, when I looked up first, there was none.
Yes, we noticed the
And
same.
when they came back, I did not recognize the stars.
Okay. No, that's fine. I do think I apologize for whatever's happened to you, and we are going to endeavor to find out what is going on.
Thank you.
And
At the moment, I think we're in talks of attempting to find some way to provide for us while we figure out what happened. But
yeah,
I appreciate that.
Understand. No, we'll safe. Be safe. And we're gonna keep walking inside if we can into Across.
Yeah, so you can approach the gate.
Yep.
It is closed.
Yep.
There is a guard atop. There's a couple guards, but at the base of the gate. And as you approach, they kind of raise their hand and say, state your business.
Returning to speak to the Acroas Athreos Oracle.
What was her name?
Sorry, Vala.
Vala.
Vala, yeah.
And Drasus.
And Drasus.
Yeah. Okay. That shouldn't be a problem. And then he reaches up and just waves his hand, and the door opens just slightly, just enough for like you to enter single file. Says, "Go on through. Be quick. Just be careful. It's a little bit crazy in there at the moment. Yeah, just be careful.
We're not being hospitable to the people that are outside the walls.
I'm not sure. That's for the king to decide. But at the moment, we're attempting to figure out what the hell's going on. It's not just here.
Does anyone have standing with the king? Nope. Okay.
Imagine that, like, the 12 would have dealt with him and stuff, but I would never have dealt with him specifically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do we want to go to Phineas
I think we need to hurry
and give the horses back, or we'll just go straight to the temple?
No, let's just go to the temple.
And just go straight.
I mean, I think given the circumstances, maybe. I mean, I feel bad hang on to you guys' gold, but like it may be very important for us to keep the horses, like Elaeda said.
You're fine.
Yeah.
So.
We'll go straight to the temple. Then I doth believe.
Yep.
Straight to the temple, yes.
Yep.
Those of you that actually know about the monarchy of Acroas, being those from Acroas, know that the monarchy is actually currently ruled by the queen, as the king passed away a couple of or rumor has it passed away a couple of years ago. There are various, well, most commonly, the rumor actually goes that he became a demigod and became a Nyxborn. So many stories have circulated that is what is believed, as his name is Anax.
That's my horse.
That's what?
It's the name of his horse.
Oh.
His horse is named after the
I remember because it sounds like
That's right.
Anax.
The queen is Cymede. Cymede for those.
Sorry, Cymede.
Magma.
Yes.
What was that?
I had something completely different.
Okay.
Cymede.
Cymede.
So Cymede is
Would you like
technically
some
the reigning
mead?
oracle. however, is missing.
The queen.
Yeah.
Queen is missing.
No.
And has been for some time. The
not since you.
reigning regent is Tyrannica, which is their
Oh.
niece.
Sounds welcoming.
Sounds tyrannical.
What did you say? Tyrannica?
Tyrankia.
Tyr-
If I just change the way I
Tyran-
say it, is that better?
Tyrankia.
No.
We're
Still
we're
not welcome.
assholes.
So how long has Tyrannosaurus Rex been ruled?
Initiative, inspiration.
How does she sign?
It's
How does
been
she
about
sign all
6
these
months.
documents with those little hands?
Okay, 6 months.
I need to stop going with what the book says because apparently you guys just meme this shit. This isn't even me.
So
If I was any good at fan art, I
No,
would be doing
no.
a T-Rex with like a little crown or some shit, trying to
Say
find
that.
Alright,
official
so
documents.
hang on. Let me just get this
Rockfall
correct.
party
Let
dies.
me just get this right. So the king is no longer the king because he turned into a demigod.
No, he's dead, but
Probably.
people suspect
Oh,
that he's a demigod.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
SirMud is an oracle, but she's been missing for 6 months. And
No, I ever said she was an oracle.
oh, what was the oracle part that you said?
I remember
You said the
hearing
reigning
that.
oracle.
You said reigning
Oh,
oracle.
Yeah,
She's
he's
the
Yeah.
reigning. She's queen.
Monarch.
but-
Apologies.
Okay,
Monarch.
okay, because that's why
Oh,
I
she's-
gave you that
like,
face when
yeah.
you said oracle. I'm like, are you kidding me? Another freaking oracle
Sorry.
that we've got to talk
Right,
to.
so
She's gotta go.
she is the technical monarch, and acting as regent in her place is their niece.
So she's missing.
the queen is.
She's missing, yes, and has been for about 6 months.
Why are we hearing about this now?
Because I forget to mention every single
Oh.
piece of law.
No, I mean, I'm not talking to you as a I'm talking to you as like
Yeah.
as Fluffy, frustrated in the fact that people didn't let us know that the queen was missing and then we could have gone and found her.
Oh, sorry guys.
I
By the
think
way,
other
those of you
people
who
are
are
doing
local to Across, just so you know.
Bro, we have bigger and more pressing things to worry about right now. I think we'll.
So what's Transylvania? What are they? Who are they?
Hate you.
Can we go speak to trigonometry?
What?
That's a reach.
Tyrankia,
Tyrantikia.
Tyrantikia, two
Transformers.
Korean Kias, two
Yeah,
Korean
run to
Kias,
IKEA.
two Korean Kias.
Going to IKEA.
I don't know that we like. I mean, I don't want to sound like rude or anything, but like that sounds like something that they need to deal with. I think we need to go talk to.
Yeah.
Who is? No, but
Bala? What's her name?
I'm actually just trying to get names. What's the
Bala, yeah.
Tyrankia is who? The current.
The
The
niece.
person's-
The niece.
of
Oh, the niece.
But yeah.
Right.
That's
I
ruling
agree.
now.
acting
Little-
leader.
Right.
Regent.
Region.
Unless there's something that we can kill that prevents like that stops all this from happening or kind of helps out. Like I don't know that what use we're gonna be.
I'm down to kill.
I figured you
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
guys
as long
want,
as that
if you
part-
guys want to keep talking about Tyrannosaurus, this is what I'm going to make the region. If you go to the D&D chat,
Yes. And we don't want to fight that. It's got like 3,000 health or something.
Oh
it's a challenge. It's a challenge level 30. If you really want to keep pushing this button, keep pushing.
Oh, let's look at you.
Hey, we've got an
Isn't
army
that
up front.
the-
I think we can take it.
Isn't that the
An army
strongest?
out front.
Yes,
I remember seeing that.
it's a Tarask.
We
Hey.
established her name as Tyrannica.
I really wanted.
Tyrannica.
I really wanted to just bring out the Transylvania, so I'm good now.
Okay.
So yeah, I agree with Linda. It semes like a them problem right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm sure
understand.
Traffic Cones is doing a great job. Let's just
Maybe, maybe we really do need to roll initiative. No, maybe I really do need to rein in my anger. What do you guys think? Am I too angry?
I love you the way you are, Fluffy.
Look,
You're a
you wouldn't be able to rage a drop of a hat if you weren't as angry as you
That's-
were. So
that's
I
a
think
very-
it's relevant
That's a
to your.
very good
That's,
point.
that's my secret
personality.
cap.
That's
I'm
a very
always
good
angry.
point. I'm
you can
always
be a bit of
angry.
you can be a bit of a sourpuss, but other than that,
But you have the fluffy side as well. Where, you cuddle, you purr.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is
You
true.
are quite beautiful.
Oh,
oh, hello, it's turning around.
wow. All this love. I'm not sure
Yeah,
I'm not equipped to handle it.
So what are we doing?
Going
We're
to the
going
temple.
to the
We're going to the
Oracle.
temple.
Talk to
Okay.
Vala.
As you walk through the city,
All the
it is
clear?
a buzz. There are people everywhere walking, grabbing supplies. You hear a lot of talk about people speaking about the end. People discussing the newcomers. People use it like not knowing what to call them. There's a few people calling them, a couple people that call them dwarves. You hear like talk of them being like, "Oh, someone said they called themselves dwarves," and stuff like that. You hear, these bits of conversations, but a lot of it is very panicked conversation, and a lot of panic buying. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I was going to say the end of world sales
paper.
would be crazy.
Like if it snowed in southern Australia.
I think it snowed like once in 5 years.
Like when COVID hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Panic buying.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking.
There's
Yeah.
no more
Pasta.
toilet parchment.
No
Yeah.
TP.
No more
You
toilet
arrive.
parchment.
Eventually, you arrive at the temple.
My butt linens.
And the temple is relatively quiet. In comparison to the market and the areas that you've walked through, the temple is relatively quiet.
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry.
is the temple is? I mean, I don't imagine it buzzes
No, you just walk in.
per se, but yeah. Walk in and I'll just go and look for either Dracis or Vala, whichever I see first.
Inside the temple, you don't see anyone immediately. But you do. But after a moment of kind of looking around, you see one of the acolytes. You don't recognize walking past.
I call out to the acolyte.
Yes. Sorry. How can I help?
Hi, I know there's quite a lot happening and everyone seems to be a buzz, but is Dracis or Vala available? It's quite urgent.
I believe they're both communing at the moment. I'll let them know. Give me a moment. And he runs off down to one of the chambers. And
It's
goes
Elaeda,
inside.
by the way.
Looks back, walks in, and then a moment later you see him come back out with Vala, and she kind of looks at you. She looks out and she says, "What happened? What happened last night?"
We might need to go talk in private somewhere.
Okay, come. And she brings you all over into her chambers.
Is this the place where we vomited violently when we got in?
Yes, when we first,
Yes.
yeah, it is, yeah.
Nothing but bad news from us so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the horses weren't a bad idea.
Brings you into her her kind of quarters. She's like, what happened?
We managed to beat Vias to the entrance into the underworld, but apparently we were too late. Fanax is now aware of his position and knows how to release the Titans. Did you, by
How
chance?
can you already know how to release them? Can't be right. No, I've spent most of this morning attempting to commune with Athreos, and I can't.
Oh my god.
Did you see last night's constellation before the stars went missing?
Yes, once I saw it, I started to commune, and Athreos said that Phaenax was attempting to separate the planes.
Is that what we saw happen last night in the stars?
I
Him rip a
believe
tear in the
so.
plane?
What does Elaeda know of the planes?
We're about to go here. A little bit lore on everything here.
Yeah, without going into too much meta, like I understand there's the whole D&D aspect of it, but then also there's the whole multiverse
So,
as well.
Like... what Elaeda knows, you know that Nyx is a separate plane that is connected to Theros.
Yeah.
And the underworld is perhaps the same way. It behaves a little bit differently. You do know that there are other worlds out there. The stories of the World Walkers being these great beings of power that have come from other places. You know of them, like they, but you don't know much. So you know that there must be other worlds out there somewhere. You don't know how that works on a functioning scale of a multiverse in a meta way, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. All right. So knowing that, then somehow Phaenax has found a way to separate Theros from Nyx.
I don't think it's separated. Not fully. I mean, I still have some of my powers.
Yeah, I have all of mine.
Yes, I mean,
So,
like it's if we were completely separated, that wouldn't happen. But maybe it's just far away.
Is there a communication, I guess, like a portal or something that?
There is the point closest to Nyx.
What is that
There
point?
is the Shrine of Nykthos.
That's our point. That's our. Is it not?
That's the closest point to Nyx. If there was, I guess, a way to cross over, that would be it. But I do not know if that is what we seek.
If
I think at the moment it is. It seemed like, from what I have spoken, that the gods, that Phaenax was attempting to distance the gods. Don't know why.
So this might be an awkward time for me to bring this up, but last night I had another dream.
Oh no.
And
you drank Amos's water again, didn't you?
Yeah,
you can't help yourself,
No, I mean this time without the absence of the pools of Lith water, but
nightcap.
The Archon that gave me the scimitar and my powers returned to me in my sleep and spoke of the gods being far away from us. Like he knew this already, and this was after we felt the earthquake and we saw what we saw in the sky. And when I fell asleep, he approached me and told me that the gods were at a distance from us, and that in essence, I got the feeling that we wouldn't be able to reach them
at all.
At all.
Okay.
Would it be, knowing that Phaenax now knows how to release the Titans, could he have separated the planes in an attempt to basically stop the gods from interfering in his plans?
It sounds like he doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah, I agree.
And
yeah, absolutely.
now that we know that,
how do you know that Phaenax knows how to release the Titans?
Elaeda?
We definitely didn't share that with them before. Well.
Oh no! Shoot! Yeah, no kidding. What did we share? We didn't share much at all before we hightailed out there.
We just shared that we were searching down a lost Eidolon that was separated from their.
Oh, right.
They returned, and you were hunting them down. That's literally it.
Is this not the temple
Now,
that
we're
you were...
assuming that they knew
I'd
more.
also like to
right?
ask in a meta way, how do you know that
Yeah,
Phaenax
they don't know.
knows that?
Well,
Like,
I mean,
I,
that's
I was going off what they
is
said
it-
before. I thought what I thought Phaenax now knew was that it was his eidolon below or behind the river Trix. That's what I thought he
Yeah.
now knew.
He knows that. He doesn't
Oh.
necessarily. We don't know that he knows how to release the Titans. We just know he
Right,
knows
yeah.
where his Eidolon is, and
He
we
may already know
know.
that. We just don't know.
Oh, sorry, guys. I thought that was the information that
Krieg.
Krieg.
Krieg told us that it's his eidolon that's
Yeah.
at River Trix. So,
Um,
assuming that
And Vaya said he already knows,
he already knows.
presumably the information that was on the mask,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like that information
Which
being passed on.
is
Gotcha.
which is that he's hidden behind the River Trix. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like exactly what was coded. So
Okay. Sorry.
Hidden, not
Scratch
kept.
that.
So,
that's.
Not
I think
being-
that's what I wrote down.
Yeah,
He's
hidden.
hidden.
who are we speaking to again? Sorry, what's her name?
Vala.
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 Vala. So,
And she's the head priestess, right? Not the other one.
Yeah, the
Yes,
high
Elaeda.
she's the
priestess.
high
Okay.
priestess.
Elaeda, you can choose not to, but I think we should be honest with Vala so she understands the full story, as no one can commune with their gods at the moment. And if what I'm thinking is happening, we're going to need all the help we can get.
I would agree. I think this is a bit beyond us
Yeah.
now. Like it's no longer a headhunting mission.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to elect to be completely transparent. Sorry, so I'd like to share with her that we've found out that behind the river lies the idol.
Eidolon.
Yeah.
And obviously explain the reason why we went to
Yeah.
the
And
crypt
that we
to
know that.
chase
Yeah, the Phaenax's destiny.
Vyas,
is the,
and we've now killed Vyas. Well, actually, sorry, Krieg killed Vyas. A lady can elect to choose whether we tell her about Krieg or not. But yeah, basically explain all the events leading up to the shifting of the planes or the separating of the planes.
I
How
mean,
much
I'm
are you
happy just
sharing?
Yeah,
just gonna-
a lady, you make the decision. This is your
Just
temple.
blur
Yeah,
the past.
I don't want it to seem too extreme, because it's a bit of information overload.
Yeah, and
Down-
I
downplay
would
it
just
a
be
little bit.
there to watch, so I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily sharing anything.
Okay. Right. Well, why didn't you tell me sooner?
I mean, we were on a time crunch. We just...
You mean you knew about the fate of the world and you elected to say nothing to
At
handle this? If
at
you
that point, we
died,
didn't know.
it was all on you.
At that point, we didn't know. We were chasing Vyas, nothing more.
When you came here, you knew Phaenax's destiny, didn't you?
We
Phaenax
didn't
is the
know.
god.
No.
Your faces.
Phaenax is
Yeah,
the
we
god
knew.
of deception.
We did know.
And the oracles
Oh, yeah, we clearly did.
were obviously deceiving us, so we didn't know what to believe at that point.
Would you have
As a-
believed me given my track
I'm-
record at that time?
I could have looked into it.
Oh, don't give us that. You and your these freaking oracles.
I suppose part of me didn't believe it myself, which is why I took the
Poppy
onus upon
walks off
myself.
just talking to himself.
Well done for handling Vyas and the group. It pains me to ask this, pays me to say this, but well done for not giving them passage over the river. That was probably the right call in this situation. Unfortunately, sometimes our beliefs must be allowed to be put to the side for the greater good, I believe. But
Is there a
should have
price
come
to
to me
pay for that
sooner.
transgression? I'm curious.
I don't know. I will not be handing out any punishment towards Elaeda for this. Not from a clerical standpoint. Whether or not Athreos chooses to do so, I do not know.
What
Well,
does this
he
mean
ain't
for
talking to anyone.
my contract now that it's technically fulfilled? In the
I
eyes of the
guess-
temple, am I?
You've come back from your temper tantrum, have you?
I guess you're reinstated, as it were.
Elaeda's just in shock.
You can continue your hunting as you see fit, and your business is now your own again.
Were you
Thank you.
watching us this, or Elaeda at least during these? I mean, was anyone within the temple watching us?
I tried. I couldn't see you.
Okay.
That's a really good point. How did
We all,
Krieg,
we all blink at each other. Actually, that's a really good point.
how did Krieg see everything?
He wasn't following us. He was followed by us before,
We don't know if you
or,
like,
that, or at least
saw-
that group before he didn't realize that we were. I mean, I think
He
he knew
didn't-
that we were going to be there, but he wasn't following us.
He
was followed
didn't
by
know-
us.
We're not hard to
Just
follow.
follow the thread.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, he didn't know where we were because he didn't come into the room straight away.
No.
Oh, well, it knew enough.
Yeah, but he
But
could.
anyways.
Yeah.
He'd seen all of it. Anyway,
Yeah.
look, now you know pretty much everything. We're at a crossroads where our friend here really would like to get back to Miletus. Is that where the thing is? Miletus?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't
Yeah.
bother. It doesn't bother me if we get back to that or not.
Oh, really? It's a lot of gold.
It is a lot of gold, but at the same time, if everything caves in, then I mean, it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things.
We
if
still
we
have
can't.
time to travel there, and
Well,
I
that's
would
what I was
like
gonna
to
say.
go.
Where would be the best place for us at the moment? Is it best to be here with your dwarven problem out the front?
From
Would it
what
be
I've
best to
heard
be somewhere
from
else?
Miletus and from Selesnya, not Selesnya.
Setessa?
That's the wrong one.
Setessa?
Setessa, thank you. Selesnya is a Ravnica thing. There is dwarves are not the only ones here.
What else have we got?
The Maledan said something about some really elegant looking people with long ears.
Please tell me you ended up picking Elven as one of those languages that you were going to speak.
It doesn't
Matty.
exist here.
Damn it.
And Setessa is apparently in a bit of trouble. They've been under attack. They've been under attack all morning. From a band of What'd you say?
Oh no! You go.
They don't know what they're called, but they're a mix of different types of humanoid creatures, kind of these beastly-looking things with long arms, and a mixture of like these smaller humanoids with like kind of pointy ears. She said something about maybe like I think someone mentioned the word goblin. I don't know what that means. But
Goblin
And-
is nuts.
I was
Goblin?
And we
Of course.
you bastard.
there's so if they're having issues there, and I have no idea what has transpired. It seems our world collided with another.
Hmm.
As for where you are best fit, until we can speak to the gods, which I think our best bet is in a month's time on the solstice, when the planes are meant to be closest.
should we go to Nykthos, as you mentioned, as that is the closest to Nyx?
Myself and some of the other oracles are planning to travel there for the solstice and hopefully speak to the gods then. But that we do not plan to leave soon. We need to figure out what's going on here. If what you say is true, and Fanax is trying to reach the underworld, if he has parted the worlds in some way, it may be harder to get there now.
Mm.
So that I do not know. Without being able to communicate with Athreos, it's hard to tell.
I want to like kind of step to the side and whisper to Azoth. Azoth, I think we need to find out where Heliod's been. He's been missing longer than this circumstance. So I think there's a key there and some information that we might be able to find out. I don't know, maybe we can go talk to Lulio, or
It's been
if
years.
there's someone else you may be able to talk to.
Years?
It's been years.
Years. Yeah.
Is there any?
Not recent.
Oh.
What?
I was thinking it was recent. Wow.
Yeah.
So is there any
you guys
lead
aren't aware of
on this?
Like,
Is there any lead on where he's been?
I mean, that's that was my my quest when I met you all at that well, and
Wow, okay.
When were
I
you given
feel
the quest?
I told you this when we came back from the
No,
break.
How long ago were you given the quest?
Oh, it's I don't know, maybe a couple of months at best.
Okay.
Dale, not too long.
no, it's not long.
I haven't been around a lot to join any dots. I'm pretty sure my
It's
like
maybe like 4 or 5 months, I think.
Can I
yeah.
ask Bala, have you ever heard of a god descending from Nyx and actually spending time on Theros?
Hmm. I believe they used to, but not in a long time. They tend to use vassals or the Nyxborn or their demigods to do that now.
If they were using a vassal, would they still be considered in Nyx, or would their consciousness or being be tied to Theros? Could they essentially exist in both Theros and Nyx at the same time while using their vassal?
I don't believe so. But I do not know the working of the gods. They are powerful beings. I would not be surprised if they could be in both places.
What's a vassal?
Like the champions.
I look over at Amos.
No, not you.
Okay.
No, not you.
They
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
typically the greatest followers, be it by strength of skill or oracle, are vassals, but very rarely. And not so much in our most recent years. Typically the working of the gods has been done by their champions. This is the age of heroes.
We
Change the
could be
subject a little bit.
heroes. Sorry.
Bala, do you know a Krieg who is an oracle of Clothis?
Clothis.
Clothis. I like Clothis better.
Krieg. No. Doesn't ring a bell, sorry.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Never mind, I rolled a 3.
Hard to read.
We are so bad with insight checks.
Today's been terrible. I rolled so badly.
All this speak of gods descending planes. I don't know. I just get the feeling on Krieg.
It was a very random encounter.
It was super
just showed up, like
weird. Yeah.
That's why I led that
I'm on a
questioning.
pedestal.
Totally agree.
Yeah, but it sounds just like what the god of destiny would do.
He could hear me after I. Sorry, we're not having this conversation. Like we're not having this
Son of a
conversation.
bitch when he left.
I called him a bitch, and he told me I shouldn't be so angry.
Vala, thank you for your time. We have much to deliberate on. We may end up meeting you in Nykthos in a month's time during the solstice.
Should we work out what we're going to be doing between now and then, though?
Well, if we could, I'd like to get to Miletus.
I want to go. For the first time in a very long time, I want to be in Miletus right now. So.
Be close to mommy and daddy.
It's gonna start raining, man.
Hey.
Is our okay? Just before we head out, I just want to ask Vala. Is our best bet at this stage trying to stop any other plans from progressing from Phaenax, seek out more of his followers, or should we be assuming the worst and preparing for?
I guess seeking followers isn't a bad option. I'll be honest, I've spent my life following the instruction of Athreos. I do not know where to direct you.
Vala, do you know where the toilet is?
Yes.
Thank you.
Out the door and left and second on the right.
Fluffy walks away.
Okay.
It's not where I was going, but I lost my train of thought, and so I just went with it.
Do you want to ask?
And on that note, we're going to end the session.
Fluffy goes to the toilet.
If you want to ask anything, if you want to ask anything more of Vala, go for it before we finish up.
I was going to see if Azoth wanted to say anything about or ask them about Heliod direct, or if there are any leads.
Have we asked the question on, like, is it only followers of Phaenax that can come back as returned, or is that anyone?
You would know I mean, you wouldn't know, but like, kind of anyone can become a returned.
Right. Okay. Cool. That was the Okay. Cool. That's important.
Like, it's not like you don't have to be a follower of Phaenax.
Of Phaenax. Yeah.
Is there rumors of what causes you to be returned? Like, is there even just like folklore?
It is and you'd know the stories well. It's a certain way of escaping the underworld.
No, I mean, like, what? Like, we all pricked our finger and we tested negative for becoming returned. Like, do we know of like the lore of like what may cause someone to be predisposed to being a returned or not?
No. It's more about like a decision made in the underworld. Essentially, by pricking your fingers, it told you your fates. And how accurate that comes out to be.
Yeah, right, yeah, we don't know, yeah.
When we fought the return at the beginning, the very beginning.
Episode 1.
Did the returned that were shooting at Vyas, did they have masks?
Yeah.
Yes.
They did.
All the returned have masks.
They had gold masks.
I don't know if they were gold, actually.
Vyas's was
I thought
gold.
they were, because you said they were. You deemed them valuable.
They were. They were
gold
they
masks.
They weren't as descriptive as Vyas.
I believe I'm holding them still.
Yeah,
I
you
think
have
you've
them in your
still got-
pocket.
yeah,
Can
you've
I
still
pull
got
them out? Do they look Phaenaxy at all?
Yeah.
They just look not
Do they have
really.
just
any
look like
inscriptions
returns.
on them at all?
No,
What do you
None.
think?
No inscriptions.
no, they're just masks.
Just masks.
Just
If
like
I-
gold masks, and some of them are more ornate than others. Some of them are have
the-
different, slightly different designs.
So
But
there's
nothing of
two
your huge
threads.
Phaenax.
There's two threads that I like to pull on here. One being at the solstice, going and investigating at this.
Month.
That's a
Yeah,
month
this-
away.
Yeah, and then
We're gonna do
if
that,
there's if we can ask around, man, I don't even know where to look. But who else was trying to find Bias? Someone else knew
That's
of
what
all
I'm.
this.
That's what I'm asking.
and
That's what
someone
yeah.
was trying to stop it before we were getting involved.
That's what
Who
I'm
is this?
trying to work out.
Is this
here.
Heliod? Is this who's the other god that's missing? There was another one that was missing.
It was Krieg's god.
Clothis.
Whatever his name.
Clothis was missing.
Oh,
Yeah.
God of Destiny.
That's why I was asking about them being on Theros, because if this is I don't know if we're doing game or whatever, but this is what I'm thinking. Basically,
I think we're just chatting at this point.
Krieg was Klothos, and I think Heliod's since Atticus, you said that Heliod's been missing for a couple of years. I think Heliod's been on Theros for a couple of years. I just don't know whether it's actually him or if he's using a vassal or something like that. But yeah, that's why I think they weren't in the sky, and I think it's going to then come down to them helping us stop. What's his name? Phoenix.
I think it's been. Did we say decades? Decades. Heliod, no
So
word.
he's-
Seriously, what?
He may not
Decades.
be specifically
He's dead.
here. Heliod may not be specifically here on
2 decades.
Theros
About 2 decades.
He's dead.
over this circumstance.
He's just dead. Like, come
Heliod and Phaenax have a kind of like
on,
almost
MIA.
like a sibling. They're like opposed.
What is Heliod's
Yeah.
brother?
Sibling rivalry.
Son.
Heliod is like
Son.
law and order, justice. This is what's right, and fucking Phaenax is like trickery and deceit, and so like
Right, got it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we just naturally butt heads for sure.
they're yeah like kind of opposing. So like yeah, I get the kind of
If I was to
Why
show one of these masks off the returned that we fought in episode 1
Mhm.
to Vala,
Mhm.
is there a response? Does she
Okay.
recognize them at all?
She's just like, well, that's a mask of the returned, yes?
doesn't every return has a mask, yeah?
Yes.
Every
Right.
returned, yeah.
Every single return.
If you wish, are you looking to sell them?
I want to know who was wearing them
You can
because
do that.
Her later thing on every return she's killed. If I had been picking up their masks.
the people that
To the
were
right
wearing
people.
these,
I mean, some people believe they're cursed, but
these the masks that were worn.
Don't pick up the daggers.
there's
Yeah.
no. If
The-
there's no markings on them, then no.
Okay.
You found that dagger at the pools of Lith. Didn't you? No,
Yeah,
it was
he
in.
did.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was
he
in
did.
the tomb, wasn't it?
No, it was
Um,
the
So the pools of Lith.
It was
yeah,
in-
It was
in
the pools of
These
Lith.
are the pools
Yeah.
of Lith.
Yeah,
Copy
it was,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's no. That would not work, unfortunately.
Okay.
Why?
These masks are from 3 returned that hunted down Vias's returned body and killed him in front of us.
Do you have anything else from them?
From them.
Yes, I do. I do actually.
from them.
What are you got
I have
that
this
pot,
piece
didn't
of
you?
clay
Hmm.
that has this inscription on it in the writing that says
Kill Vias the
silence
heretic. Yeah.
silence the heretic, his secrets cannot be
Must remain hidden.
or whatever, must remain silent or something like that.
I wrote it down somewhere.
I'm
bit
pretty
of
sure I
crap.
got that off of the main guy,
Yeah, I think you did.
the named return.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a name. Holy shit. Hold on.
No, he didn't have a name. It was a.
Well, no, there was a name.
He was a
I'm telling-
returned commander.
He was like a
Mode?
specific type of return.
Kakamotus?
Yeah, it's a type of returned, not a
Okay.
Okay.
not a name.
Does that give us
Oh.
any more information?
Yeah, the
He's just gonna stop naming.
Every-
He'll just stop naming NPCs now.
Silence the heretic Varyas. His secret must remain hidden.
Yes.
That was on a bit of, like a clay pot.
a clay pot, and it was written on. So somebody wrote it. It wasn't like.
Is that more like prophecy stuff? If it's on a fucking pot, not in a scroll, like a scroll or something, would it be more like? I don't know. It's a weird. It's like I don't have a pen and paper. Grab that pot. Here we go. Yeah, take this.
It could have been.
He writes on a pot.
This seems to be and she kind of looks it over, a piece of like a burial urn.
We're going back to the crypts of the lost, boys.
Do you recognize the handwriting?
If we need
No.
to get to the underworld, we don't need to anymore. We can go through the underground entrances in the temples.
Surely
You
they
can.
let us now.
I can.
Come on, knowing them. Pretty.
meet you guys there.
What else is Vala saying about the pot?
Bala, is there anyone that
Um,
could tell me whose this handwriting could be, or even a magical way, or
The
something?
only people that I know typically
Forensic team.
do anything with pots are some of the acolytes of Erebos. Perhaps that's a place to start. Their main
Okay.
temple's down
I
in
mean, that may
Miletus.
That
Yeah,
may
well,
be huge,
makes sense.
actually. So
That's where the returned were.
okay. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Looks like we're going to Miletus, boys. And Gil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool, men. I
Well,
started the
cool
section
there.
thinking like, okay, what could possibly happen here? And I was like drawing a blank on us like killing Vyas and then what, right? Like we just kill Vyas and then end up with nothing to go on. But this is
Yeah, no.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's
fucking-
escalated quickly.
the stars tearing apart and earthquakes and different races being teleported to this world or some shit.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, goblins attacking Satessa.
It's a bit counterintuitive for me though, like the fact that other races are appearing on planes that don't exist on this plane. Feels like there are like tears between and like gaps that have been created in between that kind of in a way makes the planes closer, but we've been explained that they're further apart, right, than they've ever been at this point.
I'm wondering whether
like what's disappeared off of Theros because of this.
That's what I was gonna say. Was who in Theros is missing, and on a different plane to where we are.
You've also got to remember she said that Nyx was further away.
Doesn't necessarily mean the other planes aren't closer.
If I move these away from each other,
Things
they're
But
further
Nyx
away.
has moved.
But what if there's something over here? And this has just gotten this way. If that makes sense.
So Theros has moved away, moved further away into another. Ooh.
Or Nyx moved closer to the other planes and we stayed exactly where we were. If we're closer to the underworld than the rest of the planes.
Yeah, we just need to find out who was trying to kill
you guys
Phoenix.
try to mentally decipher some of that. Decided to just kind of go down a bit of
World
chaotic
Walkers,
lines. So
They
Huh?
interest me. These world walkers interest me.
I've already spoken about them before.
I thought we were going to go down the line of like the World Walkers, Captain America, Iron Man, the Avengers.
I've already spoken about the World Walkers.
When?
I did an entire little tirade as like one of the bards telling stories of the World Walkers,
Oh yeah.
telling
How they
stories
defeated
of
and how they
Elspeth,
defeated the
the Sun
gods
Crowned, and how they defeated one of the
god.
gods. Yeah,
Is this before I jumped in?
I
Yeah.
No,
Was
I think
No.
it was. Right,
oh no!
it was right.
Yeah, it was when we came back into
I think you
Miletus
missed
before we
it
got
the
attacked
early
by
part of
the
the session.
assassin.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
yeah, you might want to go back and listen to it because I talked about how Ajani slayed a great Hydra,
Yeah.
how Elspeth slayed this false god.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I wrote
Later in
down
all
was
the knowledge of
story
history would already know this. It's the law of
Yes.
how Xenagos rose and fell.
Yes.
All I wrote was storyteller, satyr, harp
Session
player.
5.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
all I
session
wrote.
5.
There you go.
Xenagos rose to become the god of rebels,
Yeah,
and
And
then
how
Heliod gave her the power to kill a god.
and Elspeth the Great felled the false god. That I wrote down.
Heliod's dead. I'm calling it.
Wait, what extent? That's way too meta. No, that's way too meta.
Wait, who's Xenagos?
Dum-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum-da-dum.
No idea.
Who's Xenagos?
Xenagos.
Dale is
We can
famous.
build them in
I'm
a
calling
minute.
it now.
Sorry?
I don't know.
You can, yeah, go ahead.
Who's
Go ahead.
Xenagos?
Sorry if I'm butchering it. Xenagos was a satyr who was a world walker, planeswalker, who so he went from world to world, and then he wanted to become stronger. So he did some ritual. I don't know what the steps were, but he went to the shrine of. Is this too much?
Nah.
Yeah, he basically did a thing. Went to the shrine of Nyx, and he ascended to become the god of revels. So he actually went to Nyx and became a god. But I think the step was he had to increase the devotion.
He had
of
to make
other
enough
satyrs.
people believe that he was that's what he was.
Right.
And that's part of the,
and essentially through this what was called the Great Revel, which was essentially this huge party, and claimed himself the god of revels, and that's what he became. He became this god of revels. The Heliod saw that as, how dare this person become how dare he become a god? How dare he do that? And gave Elspeth a special spear called the Godsend, and sent her to kill Xenagos.
And instead, she killed Heliod.